This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Safari Live. We are coming straight and direct for you from the beautiful Masai Mara. And look what we have. We have the African elephant crossing right in front of me. Hello, I'm Isaac, and on camera I have Manu, and we're coming to you live and direct from the Masai Mara. And today, your first animal is the African elephant. Today, we are joined by 3 schools, all from America, and one of them is Shelton Park Elementary, Ocean Lakes Elementary School, and Pembroke Meadows Elementary. Some of you have joined us before, so you know the protocol. Please join in and through your teachers ask us question on hashtag SafariLive, and we can answer your questions while we drive. Here I have a beautiful herd of elephants, and these youngsters are playing with mud. Ocean Lake School are asking, what is the climate like in Kenya? Well, just to describe how it is through the year is that we do have 2 seasons of wet and dry. We don't have cold, and the dry season is from from August all the way to November, and then we have short rains in November to about December. Then it's supposed to be dry until February, but all in all, the weather phenomenon has changed quite a lot. So we are getting localized rain, and that's why it is very green here. In fact, at the moment, we are at 31 degrees Celsius and about 88 Fahrenheit, which is normal for this time of the year in February. So that is the kind of climate we have here. And the elevation in the Masai Mara is 5,700 feet, which is around, I think, 1,500 to 700 meters. That is the elevation we are, and we are only 1 degree, 15 minutes south of the equator. If you look at the equator in the middle of Africa, that's where Kenya is. And so geographically and climatically, I have tried to explain as much as I know. We are bordered to the east by the Indian Ocean, and we are surrounded by 5 countries, which are Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, Uganda, and Tanzania. Those are our 5 countries that surround our country, Kenya. So geographically, I have explained where we are. So continue engaging us with more questions. And in front of me, I have a roadblock of young elephants. These guys are about 3 years old, and Jordan, thank you very much for your questions. For your question, you asked me that why are the elephants wrestling each other? Well, in nature, there is certain behaviors that that make one another recognize who they are and where they stand. And for young boys like these ones, these fights, make them stop fighting in the years to come. So they know somebody is bigger than the other, so they avoid fights in the future, and it's easier to live that way. Otherwise, if they meet in the future and they've never met and quarreled, then the fight might end up being bad, it might be bloody. So they play like that. Sometimes it becomes very serious, but it's very good for them because they learn who is stronger than the other, and so they can avoid each other. And all these are bulls. Bulls are the ones that actually do that. When I say bulls, I mean boys, males. Yeah. He's turning back because his cousin is coming, or his brother. He's a feisty little one, that one. Oh, look at that. Yay. He's been told off. Don't play with me. Yeah, I'm gonna, slap you if you come any closer. Yeah. Those are almost the same age, I would say, maybe around 4 years. But the ones to the left looks like He's got a better hand and they respect him because every time he moves closer, they are going away. London, thank you for your question. You ask how many elephants can be in a group. They can be what we call a breeding herd, which is a female, her youngsters and her sisters. They can be up to around 12. And over here, if I count, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, there are 12. It can be, that is a normal group. It can be as big as 60, and I have seen as big as 200. But normal is around 12. And that 12 is made up of the old female, her sister, and their offsprings. So these two could be cousins. These three, they could be cousins, because they're almost the same age. Yes, and they're enjoying the plains. They're eating the grass while playing. Yeah, it's so beautiful here. They're enjoying themselves, having a good time. Beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, is he gonna also be feisty to the older brother? He's a tough little guy, that one to the right. He doesn't give up easy. Yeah. Okay, let's leave these guys to play, and let's take you to my colleague Sydney in Greater Kruger in South Africa to say hello.
A very, very good afternoon, and most of all, welcome to the beginning of the afternoon game drive. This is Sydney Fumurani Mikosi, and I'm traveling with BK, who is my camera operator this afternoon. We will try by all means and get you see all these interesting animals. You can talk to us by following us on Twitter, #SafariLive. You can also follow us on YouTube chat stream. So my plan this afternoon is to look for the spotted animals. So Ocean Rex, that is quite a very lovely question. The difference between the carnivores, omnivores, and herbivores. The carnivores are the animals who are responsible to kill the other animals for their survival. In other words, those are meat eaters. Omnivores is the animals who does feed on both plants and meat. Then you have got the herbivores. The herbivores are very much specific to vegetation. The animals who eat grass and animals who eat the leaves from the trees. Those ones, they all fall under a category of the herbivores. So that is how these animals are grouped. They are grouped according to their diet. So every time I see the animals who falls under any of those categories, I will remind you, then I will be able to tell you this is the herbivores and why, and we will see what it's doing. So here where I am now, I'm just visiting a den site. A den is a place where some of the animals hide their babies. So here I am now checking if the hyenas are here. Hyenas are having a big house here. So where the hyenas are hiding their babies is called a den. They are not here, the babies, but I would like to show you where they are staying so that you can see what I am looking for and what kind of house these hyenas are staying in. So if you look there now, I will show you just now. If you look there, you will see that there is an entrance There is no activities at the moment. There is a big entrance there. You see that hole? That hole is where the hyenas are hiding their babies. So now by this time of the day, these hyenas are not around. So maybe they are gone in order to search for food so that they can eat. And they normally leave their little ones unattended inside this hole. We are not lucky this afternoon with the little ones. They've got very beautiful babies in there. So maybe we will be lucky with the other animals. I will be moving now to the other side and see. I am right in South Africa, and South Africa is divided into 9 provinces. So where I am, it is called Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga, it is just by the eastern side of South Africa. So I am in Mpumalanga, which is not far away from the Kruger National Park, which is very popular. I know a lot of you might have heard about Kruger before. Mpumalanga is consisted of Kruger, and Kruger National Park is consisted of both Mpumalanga and another province which is called Limpopo. So when you hear people talking about Kruger, you must know it is a park which is consisted of 2 provinces. So I'm trying to check the tracks here on the ground to see if these animals did not cross the road, because it's easy, and that is how I find animals. So now let's quickly go to Taylor, my friend, who is by the Chitwa Dam.
Good afternoon, everybody. Now, there's a lot of water here, I'm sure you'll all agree, because I'm at a big dam called Chitwa, and there are lots and lots of wonderful animals that I'm going to show you this afternoon. My name is Taylor. You can call me whatever you like, and on camera with me today is Craig. So he's going to be showing you all the wonderful animals, and I look forward to all of your questions. Remember to ask your teacher as many questions as you like. Shall we look at the hippopotamus first? I think so. Now, we're still in the Sabi Sand, so we're in the same area that Sydney is driving around in. We're just a little bit further south from where he is. And this is one of my favorite places. Although the hippos don't seem to be cooperating at the moment, those ones are sleeping. But Craig, if you look a little bit further to the right, and just to the left of that dead tree in the distance, there are 2 hippos. They're underwater right now, but when they pop their heads up, it looked like they were fighting. Oh, that tree over, that one over there. There we go. Let's see. See, they pop up every now and then. You can just see ears right now. And I'm wondering if they're 2 young hippos, because they like to play around no matter what time of the day it is. Whereas the big adult hippopotamus, the mums and the dads, and they don't want to waste their energy on playing around or going under. And of course, as I say, watch them play, they'll stop playing, but maybe we'll get lucky. But there's so many hippos that live here. Look, there we go. Landon, that's an interesting question you've asked about how much water can a hippo consume in one gulp. Well, hippos have got exceptionally large mouths. Not that they're really showing us today. I don't know how much they could drink in one gulp. So sometimes it's quite confusing to watch hippos drink water, because they'll just kind of be wading through the water with their mouths just on the surface, and before you know it, that's how they're drinking. So they don't have to walk to the water's edge like all the other animals do and drink. I'm sure it's going to be a couple of gallons though of water that they could drink at one time. but I'm not exactly sure if anybody has ever measured. How do you measure that? Do you take lots of buckets of water and first measure how much water is in there and then keep pouring it in until it's full? Who knows? That would be quite a cool thing for Mythbusters. Now, Michael, they are exceptionally dangerous. They are Africa's most dangerous animal other than the mosquito, the Anopheles mosquito. So that's the one that has malaria. That kills more people. So you have to be very, very careful. Look at that. Look how big those mouths are. And if it was a big hippo bull, so a male hippo, he'd have enormous teeth. Really, really big in sizes. And they'll use them for fighting. But a hippo doesn't really want to fight a person. So the problem with hippos and why you have to be so careful is that they're very protective about where they live. And they normally live in the water. So if you were to go swimming out here, the hippos would not be very happy with you and they'd try and chase you away. And if you were to go on a boat, the big boy hippo that is in charge of the herd, so they live in pods or herds, or sometimes we even call them a raft of hippos. And then he'll probably try and tip you out of there too. So it's best to keep your distance from these animals. But the real problem comes in at nighttime, when hippos go out to eat grass, so they go and walk long distances to try and find grass. And then in the early morning, just before the sun pops up, they start heading back. And now in Africa, there are lots and lots of people who still use rivers and dams and lakes and things like that to wash their clothes, to bathe, to go out early and fish. And if you are in a hippo's pathway when it's trying to get back to the water, it's not going to be very happy because it'll be scared. They don't like to be out of the water and sort of have a confrontation. So they don't want to see anybody that they don't like out of the water. They get a little bit nervous, so they might trample you. So be very, very careful of these animals. That's why it's safe to watch them in a vehicle from a distance, even if you are on a bushwalk and you are sitting up on a dam wall or you had a natural barrier between you, it's fine to view them. Brody, now, whoa, what's going on over there? It's a jacuzzi party. So, Brody, your question about which is larger, a male or a female hippo. So, with most mammals, it is the males that are larger, and the same goes for hippos. But you'll have to ask Sydney about which is larger between a male and a female hyena, because on average, well, actually, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. We can ask him and see what he thinks too. So the hippo boys get very, very big. They can weigh about between 1.5 and 2 tons. That's huge. That's probably weighs more than some of your parents' cars if they've got a normal small car and not a big SUV. How crazy is that? They don't quite get as big as cars. They're quite long. They're very, very long, but not very... Well, they're wide. They're wider than us. I think if a hippopotamus had to open its mouth completely, and like you're at the dentist, and the dentist says, say, ah, and it kept it open, and you put a stick in between the top and bottom jaw, you could probably climb on in and have a little look around. Maybe some of you that are still quite small, not too tall. Otherwise, it would be a problem. But how awesome is that? And they're gonna be pretty relaxed now, not doing too much, just sort of splashing about in the water. They'll sleep here. But what they might do in a little bit, we hang around here, is they might come out of the water. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. So I'm going to send you to my friend Sydney, who's not too far away from me. He's left the hyenas and now he's got the largest land mammal.
We are very much lucky at the moment. I did manage to get hold of the biggest land mammal. These animals can eat quite a lot a day because of their big body size. Elephants, they eat both grasses and they also eat the leaves. Elephant is one of the herbivores. So earlier, you asked me a question about herbivores, omnivores, and carnivores. A very good example of the herbivores, animals that eat the vegetation, is the elephant. So now it's eating grass. Animals that eat grass, specifically we call them grazers. But the animals which eat the leaves, we call them browsers. And then we have got the elephant who feed on both grass and leaves. Then we call them mixed feeders. Some of them can be called bulk feeders. So if you look at the body, it's looking very dirty, and you can see dry mud hanging on the side of the body. That is a good sign to you to say the weather is so hot at the moment. For the elephant, in order to cool their bodies, they rely on mud and dust. They use mud and dust in order to cool their body temperatures. Unfortunately, elephants cannot get rid of the heat through a sweating process. Michaela, what a question. Thank you very much for that. The elephants, for them to get away from danger, if there is any danger, they have got to run away. I have seen elephants on several occasions running away, but they can also protect themselves. If you look at that elephant, you will see they've got those tusks. You can see the white things coming out from the mouth. So those are the incisors that are coming from inside the mouth. Is part of their dental structures. They use that as a weapon in order to protect themselves against their enemies. It's quite a very big animal, so you can see it's not easy for it to get threatened. These other animals, they know very well, elephants can tend to be very aggressive and they can be dangerous, potentially dangerous. It is a peaceful animal. You can see they're not worried about our presence. Since we've been here, they're just feeding and they don't have problems. So what makes the elephants happy is the distance between us and them. When we are too close, they will show that they are not happy. But if we are on a distance of 50 to 100 meters, I can guarantee you that elephant will be happy with our presence. The elephant from one of the students is the question from one of the students, sorry. The elephants can survive up to 65 years. But what made the elephant to survive 65 years is Sia. What makes the elephants in order to survive 65 years is the following. So these elephants, if you check, they have got very strong teeth, but when they are growing up to 50 years, they start to lose these teeth. And when they are losing teeth, it means now it's going to be difficult for the elephants to forage. From 50 years, they start to lose weight because the food they are eating now is not enough because they are losing some of the teeth from the mouth. So when losing the teeth, it's not easy. Remember, the elephants are not like buffaloes. If you check the buffaloes, when the buffaloes eat during the day, they don't digest everything. They just eat and collect and save everything in the stomach. Elephants, their digestive system starts from the mouth as they are chewing. So when they are chewing, they are digesting. So it means if they don't have the teeth, they don't have some of the tools important to start their digestive system. So now let's quickly cross over back to Taylor by the dam.
Look at all these animals that we've got. Now, Sydney was talking about grazers and browsers. Remember, some that eat grass and some that eat leaves. And it's quite cool because we've got two different kinds of antelope here. So the ones with the stripes on them, those are nyala. So the ones closest to us, that's the girls. Those are the females. And then the one at the back with the big horns, that's the male. So those are the two. That's how you tell the difference between a lot of the antelope species, but not all of them, because some of the boys and the girls also have horns for both species. Both sexes will have horns. But how cool is that? And then the other antelope is one of my favorites. It's the impala. And you see them everywhere. They're the most common antelope that you'll see all over Africa. And that's because they do so well. They can almost survive in most environments. I think if you left them in the snow, though, they wouldn't do very well. But as long as there's grass and as long as there's leaves, they'll be happy. So that's what the impala eat. They eat a bit of everything. They'll eat flowers, they'll eat the grass, they'll eat leaves. I've seen them eating fruit. So they'll gobble all those things down, and even pods. And then the Inyala, they prefer to eat leaves. But sometimes, especially here in this area, when you'll see that in winter, for our winter, so that's going to be in the next few months, all the grass disappears and all the leaves disappear. And then there's nothing. And when we get a bit of rain, and the grass is normally the first to grow, you'll see them nibbling very cheekily on a little bit of grass too, but that's not what they typically will try and eat. Now, you're probably wondering, why on earth are they all hanging around together like this? Well, just like you and your friends like to hang around, and they'll hang around together like this for safety. So Inyala's got very, very good hearing. They've got big ears, and then Impalas have got pretty good eyesight, so they'll all help one another. And if there's a sneaky little leopard around, and hopefully one of them will see it, and then they'll start shouting about, saying, "Oi, leave me alone." Now, Kirsten, the name Nile, did you say Nile? Like the river? But I wasn't sure if I heard correctly. I'm sorry, it's a bit windy out here. Nile, so you pointed out Nyala's stripes, and you're wondering, why do they have those stripes? So it's very important. Even though you and I think that doesn't help them blend in, it's white, makes them stand out. So that is what we call disruptive markings. Almost forgot what that word is. So disruptive markings is something that a lot of different animals have. They'll have different colors, different patterns on them, and when they're standing in the vegetation, let's see if we can try it. Let's see if we can find an Inyala that's hiding away somewhere. Have you got an Inyala there? Oh, there we go. That helps break up the solid shape, so the solid color, and then they'll disappear in the shadows of the plants or behind the leaves, behind the trees. So it's very, very important, and then it makes it more difficult for things like lions and leopards to spot them. So it's very, very good to have that. And they don't just have stripes. Did you see some of them had little spots on them too? And then the Impala have a different type of coloration. You can see they've got white, they've got tan, and then they've got darker tan. I don't know what those colors are. Sorry, my color palette is not very good. But those also will do exactly the same thing. It'll help break up that solid coloration that they have, and it makes them blend in a lot better. You wouldn't think, hey, just hiding away in the shade would keep you nice and safe or help you camouflage, but it really does. Alana, we're going to drive up a little bit closer, I reckon. It depends on the type of antelope. That will determine how big they get. So, Impala are smaller than Inyala. Should we do a list of how big these animals get? We're going to just get a better position, and then I'm going to list them for you. I wish I could jump like an Impala, because they could run really fast and they can jump really high. It's so cool. I'm going to stop. Let's see if I can get in the middle. Should we try and sneak in the middle of the Impala? Now, you don't really want to hoot your horn at the animals to get out of the way. You can see, just drive very slowly. Look at this. Look at all of them here. So, out here we get lots of different types of antelope. The biggest one that we see is a kudu. And then I would say we see an Inyala. And then we have Impala and bushbuck, which are they're fairly similar. And then from there you'll go down to a duiker, which is a very small antelope, and then even a little steenbok. I don't think I've missed anyone, hey Craig? So there are lots of different antelope that you can see in this ecosystem, but we don't see eland. That's the world's biggest antelope. They're quite funny. They look like they've got a cow body and then an antelope head with big horns. I don't have a picture to show you, I'm afraid, but maybe your teacher can show you later. Eland. So E-L-A-N-D. And try and draw one for you, but it will be terrible. I'm not going to try and draw one for you. So those are the biggest. And you get sable and roan antelope and water. Oh, I forgot about the waterbuck, Craig. I'm so sorry. There's one more antelope that we see that I didn't mention, and I saw one this morning. It's a waterbuck. So it's actually a kudu waterbuck, Inyala, and then the Impala and bushbuck, and then the duiker and the steenbok. My apologies. I knew I was forgetting one. It seemed like they were... But anyways, that's what happens sometimes. And wildebeest. Thank you, Kirsten. There was another one that I forgot. I forgot about the wildebeest. I've just come back from Sri Lanka. There's no antelope in Sri Lanka. There's just deer. Yes, and I don't know. There's so many. It's too confusing. It's too difficult. But there's lots. And they're pretty big too. They also look like cow, zebra horses, the wildebeest. Funny-looking creatures. Maybe we'll find one today. La Prince. Now, these animals out here are eaten by lots of different predators. So I would say their biggest predator is going to be a leopard, a lion, a hyena will be the main ones. Then even something like a crocodile, if they're not careful when they go down to drink at the water at Chitwa Dam, where we were just at. There's lots and lots of water there. I mean, lots of crocodiles there. And then there's some smaller cats, ones you don't really see very often, like a caracal. You don't really get too many of them up here. They are around. I've never seen one in this area, but they are seen in the Kruger National Park, which is not too far from here. And funny enough, the caracal, they call them in Afrikaans, which is a language that's spoken here in South Africa. They call them a rooikat. That means red cat. So they're kind of the same color as an impala. They've got big pointy ears with black tufts of hair on them. They look like a lynx. And they are one of the strongest cats for their size. They can take something down like a impala ewe. And I haven't seen it happen, but I've seen one feeding on a bushbuck ewe when I was, well, not working in this area, but down where I'm from, the southeast coast of South Africa. So they've recorded catching big prey. But out here, you often see leopards eating the impala. And they've got to eat too. And especially with all the babies around at the moment. So there's quite a few little ones, although I was just saying to Craig, they're quite big now. They don't even look small. They're almost the same size as the adults. Adeline, I can't make the sound. I can make the alarm call of an impala. Are you ready to see something? Let's see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work. Well, you have to watch what they're going to do, Grape. That's the sound they make, like a weird snorting noise. And sometimes if you do it with two people, if Craig were to do that similar sound with me, you start to see them running around and then they also start snorting because they think it's an alarm call. But we're not going to upset them. We don't really want to do that. But you saw that they were looking like what's going on. You also might be able to hear some strange noises behind me. That's not Craig's tummy grumbling. They are building a new house for the owner of this area that we're on. So that's just some angle grinders and things. We're going to move away from this area. But I just saw all these impala and all these inyala, and I couldn't resist. Right, Craig, ready? Wonderful. Okay, we're going to keep going. We're going to see what else we can find. I'd like to really find some African wild dogs. And I heard a rumor that there might be some close by. So we're going to go and have a look. Off you go all the way to Kenya, to Isaac, who's just appreciating the beautiful scenery.
Welcome back to the Masai Mara. I hope you are learning quite a lot. And here I will talk about what we can see there, which is a buffalo, Cape buffalo. It's called the African buffalo or the Cape buffalo. This is an animal that is a grazer. When I say a grazer, it feeds on grass. You have been taught about the grazers and browsers. Browsers feed on leaves and the grazers feed on grass. These guys feed on grass. And they sometimes come in groups of up to 1,000. And they can be as few as 2, like the one you see. These 2 that you see here, they can be very, very dangerous. You don't want to come across them because they are very fast. Although they look very heavy and slow, they can be very, very fast. You can see this guy, he's quite a distance away from us, but he's already very angry. The main reason is anything approaching them is a threat, so they have to defend themselves. And they have been known to be very aggressive. They have very good eyesight. They have good ears and also smelling. So he can actually maybe hear us from where he is. His, I think, brother over there is not concerned about us. But the other one, you could tell, he's very agitated. And you always find them where there is plenty of grass, like the what ones you see there. This kind of grass is the same family as wheat or rice. It's called red oat grass. And it is in plenty here in the Masai Mara. As you can see, it is a sea of grass. You will learn, or you have learned, about habitats and this is a habitat we call savanna. Savanna is an open land, huge expanse of open land that doesn't have any bushes, just trees here and there. And this is homes to very many animals like antelopes, we have impalas, we have topis, we have buffaloes. You see there is a lone tree there, and I don't know if there's some animals there. Yes, we do have a Thompson gazelle. He's all by himself in the long grass. Must be very scary, but you have to be an animal to live here. The twitching of the tail means that he's a little bit agitated, and you see he cannot stay down for very long because he knows lions and cheetahs and leopards are looking for him. It's called a Thompson's gazelle. Sometimes they come alone, and sometimes they come very many. Leprent, you ask me, why do buffaloes have horns on their head? It's because they need to defend themselves against lions and leopards and hyenas. So they use them to defend themselves. That's the reason they have the horns. You see how high the grass is? It is actually hiding that buffalo when he is seated down. You see his head is raised so that he can see those lions and hyenas coming. That is the reason why they have the horns. Yes, those are ostriches, quite a distance away. Also, they are found here, and these are wild. They are not tamed. You cannot get close to them, they will run away. I think they are very far, I can see them very well, but the black ones are males and the gray ones are females. I can see there's a few. Beg your pardon, I didn't hear the question. Could you repeat the question, please? I didn't hear it. What kind of animals go to sleep during the day? There are very many. There are those animals that are very small, and if they are out, big animals will take them. Some of them are mongooses, some of them are scrub hares, mice. We do have porcupines, we have leopards, we have owls, we have civets. So we have very, very many animals that go to sleep during the day, and the main reason is they could be hunted by other bigger animals. So they are very many. Just to mention a few, those are the few that go to sleep during the day. Here we have a bird, and this bird is called a secretary bird. It's a member of the eagles, but it spends a lot of its time on the ground. It is hunting for grasshoppers, spiders, frogs, and snakes. In fact, it kills a lot of snakes. It is fond of snakes, and it's got very good eyesight and very good strong legs that if it finds a snake, it will stamp the snake with the legs, kill it, chop out the head because it carries, some of snakes are poisonous, then it will swallow it. Nom, 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 nom. So it is looking for snakes. So I hope it can catch one while we're watching, but usually they go in two. When you see one, it means the other one is looking after their chicks or babies, or maybe it's sitting on eggs, and they spend a lot of their time on the ground. It's almost 3 feet tall, so it's almost as tall as some of us. Yes, do we have something else, Manu? There is we have another bird. This is the heaviest flying bird in Africa. It is called Kori bustard, K-O-R-I. Bustard is spelled B-U-S-T-R, B-U-R, actually I'm losing my spelling, B-U-R-T-R-U-D, bustard. Yes, something like that. I don't know for why, but for some reason I lost my spellings. And it can tell it's a bit hot. That's why it's got its mouth open. It's trying to lose excess heat through the mouth. And it is looking also for small creepy crawlies like spiders, frogs, grasshoppers. When you see these guys, you know that there is plenty of those things. That's why they are here. And he's very hot. Look at that. It is almost 20 kilos in weight, so it's almost as heavy as some of you guys. And it can only fly for up to 200 meters. If it does more than that, it's too heavy. It will exhaust itself. So this is called the Kori bustard, Africa's largest flying bird. Yeah, he's very heavy there, you know. He's eating lots of stuff. Yeah, the bustard, I was trying to spell. It's spelled B-U-S-T-A-R-D, bustard. Yes, not the other one. It is bustard. So, he's very busy, looking for those little insects that are in plenty over here. And that is a secretary bird also doing the same. So you can tell maybe this is an area that has got a lot of creepy crawlies. Adelaine, thank you for your question. You asked me how many snakes these birds can eat. It's a long answer that I'm going to give you, and the reason is it depends with the size of the snake. If it's one long one, let's say 6 feet, it means it's very thick. It's almost the size of your arm, so they can eat one. If it's very small, like 1 foot, and the size of your thumb, in thickness, they can eat even 10. So it depends with the size of the snake. They are very good, aren't they? We need them everywhere so they can eat those snakes. So the snakes don't become too many. Yeah, look at him. Very elegant. Yeah. Well, oh, did he find something? Oh, he's going for something? Laurent, you asked me what are the Kori bustard predators. Basically, it's jackals, cheetahs, leopards, lions, and young ones. They could be taken by big eagles. So those are the predators of the Kori bustard. Well, there's been lots of action here. There he is, still going on. He walks much, slower than the secretary bird. You can tell he's a very heavy bird. He needs to run a little bit before taking off because he's too heavy. Yeah. Nice. Okay, let's leave him to do his own business, and let me continue on and see what else I can find for you further down the road. Of course, when you look at all this grass, you think there is nothing, but if you wait long enough, there's always something, because everybody loves the grass. Even the smallest bugs and the smallest birds, they love it. So let me continue on and see what I can find for you guys. Or maybe get closer to this beautiful Kori bustard. Where did he go? He's somewhere here. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, he's here, he's coming. Maybe we'll get closer to him so you can have a better picture of him, coming close to the road. La Prince, you asked me why is the Kori bustard have gray feathers? I would say they are natural that way. They are natural that way, gray. And secondly, it's a good color because right now, if it lies down, it will blend in very well. It's camouflage. And also, when it is dry, it cannot be seen. So it is for camouflage. Camouflage are those colors that blend in to an area, and so, you know, they cannot be detected, especially by predators. Look at him. He's very busy, also eating a few seeds. He's very busy. Look at that. Beautiful gray feathers. Yes, yeah, he's enjoying, you know, the grass. Yeah. Well, while he's busy enjoying the grass, all I can tell you now, I hope you've learned lots from us. And all I can say is goodbye from my cameraman, Manu, and me. It's goodbye, and please join us next time. Okay, while this guy is enjoying his grass, let's take you to Sydney, who's driving.
A very, very good afternoon, and most of all, welcome to the beginning of a normal game drive. This is Sydney Fumurani Mikosi, together with BK, who is my camera operator this afternoon. We are now by the Triple M, trying to see if we're going to find Shidulu, as here is where she was last spotted. I haven't seen Shidulu. I've just heard beautiful cubs, beautiful Shidulu has been spotted around here. So now I am going to also be trying my luck around here and see if we cannot see Shidulu again. I don't think you are satisfied with the Shidulu's cubs and Shidulu from the sighting you had a few days ago. So while I'm looking for Shidulu, you can interact with me just by following us on Twitter, #SafariLive. You can also follow us on YouTube chat stream. So these are the areas where Shidulu has been hanging around, trespassing to the private concession here and coming back to this side. So my camera operator is part of those people who has been lucky with Shidulu. He was there when they found her. So I must have to check both sides at the same time, this side and this side. So both left and right. I don't think she will travel a long distance with the cubs. She must be... Yeah, this is one of those interesting and entertaining live safaris. Safari Live. Yeah, it is still very quiet. Also on the ground here, I haven't spotted any tracks yet, but I'm just going to hang around here for a while and see if we cannot see her from this side. Otherwise, I will go in from the other roads there just to try and see if I can find the tracks. So she is moving around here very close to the boundary, which makes it very difficult. So now, while I am still checking if I'm going to be lucky around here, let's quickly cross over to Taylor.
Wonderful. Good luck on the search for Shidulu. We are going... Actually, you know what? I must be quite frank with all of you. I didn't look for any leopard tracks when I drove up Gari Main and went on to Chitwa. So I don't know where Sibuya went. Maybe she went to the Mulati. She could have just turned back onto Little Gari again. But I did see Little Leo Smith. his face was so shocked to see me. It was very funny because no one really knew that I was coming to the Sabi Sands other than the Wild Earth work people, and we try to keep it hush hush on the DL. I think the youngsters say things like that now, or maybe I'm just very far behind in the times. I'm sure they've probably been saying that for years. So now I've got thick goldfish memory. Jerry and I were just talking about that today. I bet you've missed me. Hey, start a conversation, can't finish it. Anyways, we're going to keep driving now. I'll just pretend like that didn't happen. So we're on Cheetah Cut Line now, going that way. So I thought, why not have a little scratch around for Tandy? I know that Tandy has supposedly been hanging around on Torchwood, but who knows? Maybe she's come back to see me. Not that she particularly liked me. She used to hide away from me all the time. That was a good time. Oh, what I was going to tell you that Dylan told me is that early this morning they had Sibuya and her cub. So she's somewhere there. And then they lost them going into the drainage line, into the Mulwanini drainage line. So little Sibuya must be somewhere in there. I don't think she's got a name. I'm just going to fake call her little Sibuya so we don't get confused. And obviously Mom has gone off hunting, so that's what we saw. She was like, let's combine things. Let's kill two birds with one stone, a little bit of a territorial patrol, and I'll see if there's some lunch for us. So she's gone out to do that. Where she's gone, I'm not sure. Don't know if there's a Woolworths or anything out here. That's where I'd go, to be honest. Those are not leopard tracks. Oh, and then the other thing you're probably wondering is that I mentioned wild dogs during the school drive. Yes, it was not me being ambitious. There was some seen on Shirley's, which is a small property, quite close to Chitwa, just behind Chitwa. So we'll maybe just potter around here. I haven't been to Buffelshoek Dam for a while. We'll go up there and then we'll head back. And I know there's a lot of water around at the moment, but with all that game hanging around on the open area of Chitwa, obviously all the Impala and Yala, ridiculous luck with wild dogs. I don't know. It's the only animal that apparently likes me. I saw wild dogs while I was on the Kruger, and that's it. That's the only animal I saw other than elephants was wild dogs. Which was nice. We had nice-ish sighting of them. It was chilled. Okay. Still no leopard tracks, but we'll just keep searching. Who didn't watch my arrival back this morning? Yes, I've already shown Maurice to the world. Here he is again. He's very dirty. He needs a new outfit as well. I'll need to create him one. Kirsten, do you think Maurice needs to have a city outfit now, seeing as though he's Afrikaner, Loxodonta, city dwellerus? I don't know, because he now lives in Johannesburg. Craig, you're shaking your head and didn't approve of that Latin name. Craig's very hard to please. Sneakers. So if anybody's got fashion ideas for Maurice, let me know. I can't sew though, so I might have to steal Barbie's clothes, although Maurice is not quite, he's a little bit of the chunky side in comparison to a Barbie or whatever. I don't think he'd fit into their clothes. It's okay. I'll have to try and find something. Maybe I'll just scavenge around on Jerry's clothes. She told me that she doesn't bring her nice stuff to the bush. None of us bring our nice stuff to the bush because it just gets erect, not rest. So yeah, I'll just grab one of her old t-shirts, see if she's got maybe a necklace lying around she doesn't want anymore. Carla, he needs a hat. What kind of hat? I think he might need some tattoos. No, I'm joking. He doesn't need tattoos. Should only have... no. A top hat. Rosemary suggested the top hat. Would that be cool, though, to have a top hat, then, like, some ripped jeans, pair of sneakers, I don't know, some kind of shirt. Hashtag SafariLive. Let's see those designs. Who can design the best outfit for Maurice? Let's see. I'll have a little scroll on Twitter. Oh, well, I did want Hosana to ride an elephant this morning. That was my dream sighting for for 2019, and while I'm back here, we shall see if that happens. Craig, have you been looking for animals? Because I forget that I must stop doing lots of this and actually look left and right and spot the animals. What did you see? Nothing. Grass. Fork-tailed drongo. Craig, why didn't you stop me? I haven't seen one of those since I've been back. Also, another thing we've been discussing is that I cannot twirl my hair anymore. I can do this pathetic, I don't even know what this is. Kirsten, who's directing today, says she now can't tell when I'm annoyed or not. She says normally I'll do something like this, shake my ponytail around, or I can't do the... Very upsetting. So upsetting. Oh well. I still try to grab it, and then I miss nothing. Right. And I'm still useless at finding animals. I haven't miraculously managed to figure that out. But somebody that's infinitely better, and Kirsten has reminded me that he's better at finding animals, is Isaac.
Welcome back to the Masai Mara, and very much just like Tyler, we have left the Cory Bastard and we are in a sea of grass. The good thing is we know where we're going, but we are surrounded by a forest of grass, a few trees here and there, making it very impossible to see those small animals unless they are walking. My mission after leaving the Cory Bastard is to go towards the Sausage Tree Pride. I haven't seen them since yesterday morning. We saw 5 cubs, and that's where I'm headed. It's about 2 kilometers this way now. I've taken what we call a straight cut, not a shortcut, a straight cut. And so I'm hoping to get there sooner before the sun goes down, and I'm hoping, they are around that area. But you can see, over here there is nothing. Let me take you to Sydney, who's got some elephants.
I am very lucky with the elephants here, and I'm suspecting that the female walking in front is looking pregnant. So I'm just suspecting that by looking at the size and the size of the stomach is telling me, and also the nipples, they are showing me that no, this elephant must be pregnant. Unless it's just food. So you can see now that the elephants are very much pretty relaxed. It's a very small head, but others already crossed. The bush is smelling very nicely, and now punctuated with the elephant body smell is fantastic. The elephant, the body smells like the khaki boss. Khaki boss is one of the trees here in South Africa, which is believed to have been taken from Australia. So if you take that tree and you shake it, it secretes a very strong smell. And that smell, it is exactly the same like the elephant body smell. So I'm just gonna keep following here and see if we can improve this sighting. Oh, these elephants. It's a lot. I can see there's more there. Maybe they are on their way to a waterhole because there is a small waterhole somewhere here in front. Somewhere here, there is a small waterhole. It will be very great seeing them by the waterholes because the elephants, they like to do mud wallowing and they like to show off when they're playing in mud. So let me just go around here. Maybe where they're going, where they're going to come out is somewhere there where the waterhole is. It's not a big waterhole. It's one of those waterholes they have created themselves. Yeah, we are going to get them. They have arrived at the waterhole, at their own waterhole. You will see And these animals are too clever. They create themselves water holes. Rosalind, unfortunately, the elephants are like me, because I come from a tribe whereby we are polygamous. So the elephants, they are not partners for life. Elephants are polygamous. The males can just mate with any of the female which is on ostrich. Look at that. So this is one of those small water holes which is broadened by these elephants. I told you they're coming here. Look at that. So if you look at the tusks for the females, you will see the gap between the tusks is very much small. So the males, the gap between the tusks is very much broad. So you can see now they all want to come here and have some water and mud. Look at that. And that is an ultrasound. So they are trumpeting. Look at that. Look at how this big one is splashing the water. So the elephant has got various ways to communicate. You will hear that. Sometimes you will hear, and that is when they're talking a lot. Oh, yes, they just imitated it now. When I did it now, they are imitating me. So it is amazing to watch the elephants when they are doing this mud wallowing. Look at this big one, how the big one is lifting. Some of them are drinking this water, some are just playing with this water and mud. There's quite a lot of small babies here, but these babies, they are old enough. Elephants, they can be protective sometimes when the babies are still small, especially when on food. I didn't copy the question very well from Rose. If you can repeat that question for me. So oh, listen to that. So the term is, they do make noise, but not exactly the same noise as the elephant. You know, this is confusing quite a lot of people, where exactly this noise of rumbling is coming from. That noise is not coming from the stomach. That noise is amplified somewhere here by this special pharyngia, this pouch. That's why you will hear that. So it's something that is coming from here. So it's not coming straight from the stomach. So you can see now they are talking to each other. After that trumpet, they're moving. So I'm not going to disturb them. I will leave them for now and carry on and see if we can find something else. So the last one is going to come now to the open space right here. Let's see, maybe this one is going to also have something to drink. So here we're by the small water holes, but sometimes both small water holes and big water holes, you will see some of the birds such as the spoonbills. Let's see, Taylor has got something.
And we're going to show you the spoonbill in a minute, but look how cool this is. We've got a grey heron, and this is something that you don't actually get to see all the time. It's not an unusual behavior, but it's sunning itself. How awesome is that? So it's got its wings down, and it's warming up quite nicely. That is awesome. You do often see water birds doing it. Sometimes it's because they need to dry their wings. But with a heron doesn't necessarily dive underwater and fish for the fish. Fish for the fish? Anyway, so I remember I saw that one time here at Buffelshoek Dam, funny enough, where a grey heron was swimming like a duck, and I thought that was fantastic because it's really confusing the fish now. Can you imagine this thing with its really long legs? And all the fishermen have been like, what is that thing out in the middle of the water? Let's go and have a look. And then catches it just like that. So that's what that heron is doing right now. It's just enjoying the sun, which is quite cool. Then we have a spoonbill. I'm going to show you it. I want to show you all the birds before I try to reposition and scare them away. I would like to get a better angle on them though. But down on the water's edge we have Egyptian geese. What a surprise. And then a very cool visitor, an African spoonbill, which I haven't seen. I saw a Eurasian spoonbill, which was awesome. That was nice. I got to add lots of different birds to my list while I was in Sri Lanka. But this is one that is... Oh, sorry, Kirsten has just burst my bubble now. Well, sorry. Apparently you've been seeing this spoonbill a lot. I think it's pretty cool. It's awesome. Now, I'm not going to tell you anything about the spoonbill because everyone's probably told you everything. And I'm sulking. Craig, let's get closer. No, we're leaving, Kirsten. You've ruined the sighting now. We're going. Going to Australia. I think South Africans always say that, isn't it? No, I'm joking. We're going to get a better view now. Hopefully it doesn't fly away. I actually want to get a better angle on the heron because it's quite awesome to see. And then we'll look at the hippos as well because there's two hippopotamuses. That's not a word. Ta-da! Please. Ah, heron, I'm sorry I disturbed you. My bad. But we just wanted to get a better view of you. Go back. Maybe it'll do it that side. And open your wings. No, I'm not going to open its wings. Whatever. Fine, heron. We'll just look at the spoonbill then. It can be the center of attention. So, we saw lots of Eurasian spoonbills together. They were all feeding in like this bird park called Bundala. It's I don't think any of you will sort of know the areas, but it's slightly more on the western, is it the west? No, eastern side of Sri Lanka. So I just had a moment there. I was trying to remember where Yala National Park was, and there's a couple of other bird parks. And Bundala is fantastic for birding. It goes right up onto the coast as well, so a lot of sort of aquatic bird species. And what's quite cool to see, I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, and probably get a better chance of seeing this kind of behavior in the Mara, where the spoonbills will follow hippos around. I've even seen them following a crocodile, once a small crocodile, and trying to catch like all the little things that are being disturbed, whether it's tadpoles or frogs or little freshwater shrimp or fish, anything. They'll gobble them right up. And I always remember, I think when I first started guiding, looking at these birds, I thought they would have been filter feeders just because of their sort of really strange shape in their beak, but they aren't. They'll just snap things up in that spoon-like beak. It reminds me of castanets. Craig, do you know what a castanet is? Yes, the Spanish clappy things is how Craig described them. Ole. I don't know. That's what those birds' beak reminds me of. That's what the sound, if they were to be in a band, that's what sound they would make. And yeah, it's crazy to see this one all by itself. But off it goes, looking for wonderful things to eat. I hope you find lots. The Buffelshoek dams, I'm actually surprised at the water levels. I thought these dams would have been a whole lot sort of fuller, but that does not seem to be the case. Oh well. Are our hippos doing anything spectacular, Craig? Yeah, they're just bobbing. Snorting the water. Relaxing in the sun. There's two there. The other one's just to the left of that hippo that we can see. I don't know if it's Scuba Steve or not. Paradise Girl, I'm so glad you've missed my awkward weirdness. Me too. Because it was just me for a long time and I had to endure my own awkward weirdness and it got weird, let me tell you. It got very, very strange. Okay, bye animals at Buffelshoek Dam. I was hoping we were going to find a leopard here, but we're not. So we're going. We're leaving. We're going to find something else. I still want to go back towards Chitwa though, so I'm deciding. I'm waiting for some inside information if anybody can find the wild dogs again and then give, tell me which way they're going or they're sleeping. Then we shall make a decision. But otherwise, I don't know if we'll hang around down that side. Where are we going to go now, Craig? Drive the boundary, says Craig. Kirsten, please can you repeat that? I turned my earpiece, the volume down, and now I've got to turn it up because it's windy. Ah, of course, my young friend Pradeep. Hello, how are you? I've missed you. I really liked your squirrel video. It was so cool. I watched it over and over. Emma sent me the link to the video so that I could see it. I can, of course, find you a squirrel. We're going to try. Although every time you ask me to find you a squirrel, I can never find you a squirrel. Let's see if times have changed. Drive the boundary. So we'll drive a little bit of the boundary. We'll turn off and down one of the roads. If it wants to be seen. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be easy to spot. Maybe what about a silhouetted squirrel? That would be quite nice. Right. Well, we'll keep looking for one of those pretty. Isaac has not left the Mara. He has not accidentally wandered into the Serengeti, but what he has done is he's found some lions.
Welcome back, and look what we found. We came across the sausage tree pride coming to meet us. Unfortunately, there is no sight of the 5 little ones. I am suspecting that maybe they're tagging along from a long distance, following the scent of their mums, or they have been given a dose of exactly what they need, enough milk from the 5 females, and so they have been left the same spot. They'll become to be fed again, because over here is Kinky Tail and her 4 daughters plus the 3 older cubs. I am talking about lions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about lions. There is a pride of lions we call the sausage tree pride, and you can see them in the long grass there. That's them. They have been walking, and I think this was a welcome break for them, where they're resting right now. So they are resting, and there's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is wait for them to, get rested, and then they'll come up. They're all flat out. All I can see is a few legs every now and then at the tail. Those are the older cubs. They're full of energy at this age, which they'll, convert it to much more useful things in the future, where they know what it means to be a lion, and what it means to be out here in the plains in times like this when the grass is this tall. So right now all their attention is to play with their brothers as much as possible, but they will grow up in the next 1 year when competition becomes very stiff. Remember to engage me on hashtag SafariLive. Hashtag SafariLive to ask me any questions about this pride of lion. We know them really well. Let me go around so we can have a better view. I think from the other side the grass is shorter. Oh dear. She decided she had me wanting to go around, so she stood up and she's walking. Who is this? Let me have a look. Yes, that's how quickly they can appear and disappear. Puma, thank you for your question. You asked me if I've seen a lioness that's better than hunting than the rest of the pride. Yes, I have seen. I know of a lioness a while back that used to hang around a place called Sun River, and she always used to be all her by herself. We call her Lona. Actually Lorna, like Lorna, Lorna. And she appeared when I was working somewhere for a long time, and then she disappeared after about 3 years. and she was very good in bringing down zebra, warthogs, and wildebeest. She was all by herself, and so yes, I have seen a lone lioness that's good in hunting. Still, even in big prides like this, there are those girls that are better hunters than others. Over in this pride, I know Mitty and Kinky are very, very good hunters. They will always initiate hunts, and the few hunts that I've seen them trying, they have been very, very successful. Of course, I think they live in an area that is very difficult to live unless you're really good. So any chance lost means a few days of going without food. So I think they have perfected using the few moments or chances that they get, and that's why they're very good hunters. You can tell there's lots of movement in the long grass. Those are the older cubs belonging to Limpy. There was many suggestions of how we could change Limpy's name, but it's impossible because I think the decision was made that we don't change it this late. There was a decision of Lulu, Lala, very many names, but I think, we're going to leave her as Limpy. Yes, they're all over here in the long grass. I wanted to leave and try if I could get a better angle, but I don't know. I'll still do that. If you excuse me while you think of what you want to ask me, I'll try and go around and see, from the other angle, how it looks. Of course, it's another day in paradise. It's super beautiful, and I think the sunset today is going to be magical. So, Iona, thank you for your question. You asked me if the pride has eaten something recently. I would say since the zebra they ate about 5 days ago. Is it 5? 4 days ago. I don't think they have eaten. And when we saw them, they were walking, and the kind of body language they portrayed tells me they were looking for something to eat, so they haven't eaten. So, yes, there is about 8 lions here. 5 lionesses and 3 cubs. But you can tell how camouflage, they are. Very hard. If you don't know what you're looking for, you just drive past them. Whoever said lions have an easy life, I think he has to change that saying. It's very difficult being a lion. I appreciate being human so much. Although it's also hard. Kari, thank you for your question. Do the older cubs have an advantage over the young ones? Of course. Because, as you know, females will cross-circle each other's young. They will dominate stits sometimes if the mother doesn't interfere and chase the older ones. Also, when there is a kill, if the mothers are not watchful, the younger ones will dominate the kill over the younger ones. So yes, they do have advantage over the younger ones. In everything, in drinking, in eating, they have advantage over them. Yes, I'm talking about you, lions. Yes, that one is right behind a termite mound. I think she is enjoying the shade of the termite mound while listening to me talking about them. Yes, this is an area that you don't want to be in right now if you're a warthog. You don't want to wander towards here because chances are you won't leave another minute. Yeah, you will be torn apart. Whoa, look at that. Another African scene. Okay, on that note, as we watch the elephant, let's take you to Sydney, who's looking for a spotted cat.
I am now on Bafasuk cut line to try and see if we can find the tracks from Tingana as that side where Shudulu has been spotted. There was no luck. And also this side is very quiet. So I am checking the border. So I'm checking all these roads that are bordering the neighboring reserves to see the movement. And then we'll take it from there. If I see any fresh tracks, we are going to follow them until we find an animal. So it's very much difficult to look for the tracks in the middle, especially if we know Tingana has been spotted by this side of Buffalo's. So it means for me to see if Tingana is back, I must have to start from the border. Only the elephants and the porcupines and the So now let's go back to Taylor with a beautiful frog.
Look at what we've found. We've found my most favorite type of animal in the whole wide world. A frog. Craig spotted it. I can't take any credit for this. I just thought it was a piece of tissue paper or something along those lines, but it was not because it had eyes. That's very cool. Sitting in a bush willow. That's amazing. That was a really, really good spot, Craig. I have not got my bush eyes back on just yet. So that looks like a foam nest frog just over there, and you can see it's very white in color. And normally they're quite gray, if you've ever seen a normal colored foam nest frog. But they do have the ability to sort of change their color slightly, but not in the sense to try and camouflage themselves, more in the sense to help with thermoregulation. So this frog is white now because it is hot. It's trying to reflect all the light. How cool is that? You see it with reed frogs too. They're the really tiny ones. They typically will do it. But that is so, so, so awesome to see. And it's just sitting there trying to hide away. But when you're that color, unfortunately, on green leaves, you're not hiding away very well, are you? The lionheart, you've said it's the ghost frog. Ooh. Yes, but also not. It isn't. It'd make a nice tasty snack for a snake. Where's the snakes at? That would be very cool. I saw lots of snakes in Sri Lanka. I don't know why. I also have luck with seeing snakes. I saw Indian rock pythons. They were quite cool. Look like boa constrictors. I'll tell you about the other snakes now. Liz, you've pointed out that you thought frogs were nocturnal. Well, I suppose you get different types of frogs, but yes, it's a lot easier for them to be nocturnal. It's cooler at night, easier for them to move around. Maybe they're not competing with the bird call. No, just joking. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. But yes, it's not active now. It's just hiding away. So it thinks that it's got a good spot and that it's completely camouflaged, but we can obviously see it. So it's just resting up. It's not actively feeding. It's really doing nothing at the moment. It actually looks like it's almost fast asleep. Those eyes are very, very, very sleepy. Goodness, you must be boiling. It's in direct sunlight. That's why I had to tie my hair up today, because I didn't want to wear a scarf. It was so hot this morning, it was a mistake. So now it goes up into a little ponytail. Wonderful. Shall we carry on, Craig? And I'm sure you've been seeing the white foam nests that these... those frogs make. I don't know if there's any more. That's very cool. Anyway, so I was telling you about my snakes that I've been seeing. I saw a cat snake. They're really weird. I'll bring a book out. I only brought my Sri Lanka bird book. I saw, what else did I see? So I saw the rock pythons. I saw bronzeback. They were amazing. I spent like 40 minutes with them. Came around, and it came really close to me. It's not venomous. It looked like a boomslang crossed with a spotted bush snake. And it was so pretty. They're quite nice. I took lots of photos of that one. And what else did I see that was really cool? I saw... No, I can't remember any of the snakes I saw. I saw a rat snake as well. I saw... Wait, come come on. Yeah, forgotten how to drive. Sorry, Craig. Cobra was cool. That was fun. I had to encourage it to not go into the lounge tent. That would have been a disaster. What else did I see? I can't remember now. I saw lots of them though. It was really cool. I liked seeing the snakes. I didn't catch any snakes though. I don't really catch the snakes. I normally just let them do their slithery thing and carry on. Now we are on what road, Craig? Central. Yeah, we're on Central. I think we're going to maybe start heading back down that way. There's not really much around. So, James, Richard, the amphibians were very cool. I didn't see as many as I liked. I liked the, they were called Indian skippers. They're really, really cool. They're like a green in color with like sort of brown markings on them, and they'd sit on the top of the water and kind of like, you know, you'd skip stones as a kid, or I still do it, yes, so as a child. Then they'd get a fight, and that's what they'd do. They'd go across the water. It was really cool to watch that, and they live in big groups, so if you walk to a water's edge, you get a whole lot of them doing that. I couldn't find a field guide on amphibians, like an actual physical one. I joined a Facebook group that did amphibians, but unfortunately it wasn't really in the area that I was, so I didn't get to ID as many as I would have liked to. Anyways, I didn't actually see as many. I think I saw more types of snakes than I did frogs. So that's just one of those things, I suppose. What else happened with things that live in the water? Got stalked by a crocodile. You know how we always say that crocodiles learn behavior and why you should never go fishing in the same spot all the time if you're, you know, in a crocodile-infested area, something like that. Very important to remember. And they have mugger crocodiles there, so they're not anywhere near as big as the Nile crocodiles or the saltwater crocodiles. They're much smaller. Like, I'd say the biggest one I saw is maybe the size of Vladimir. Yeah, I'd say, oh wait, I can't remember which one is the boy, which is Boris or Vladimir, I can't remember, but the bigger one. They are, that was sort of about the biggest size. So outside my tent, under the tree, one day I noticed this thing and I was like, very suspicious. Looked like crocodile, it was a crocodile. So it was quite far away. I was like, cool. Next day, it was a couple of meters closer and I was like, oh, okay. And this continued for about 3 or 4 days and it got closer and closer. Eventually, I was like, this thing is going to be waiting for me one night when I come back and it's going to eat me. I think I even sent a voice note to, I think it was maybe Stacy, saying that if I die, it's going to be death by crocodile. This thing's going to get me. And then one morning, it was just way too close for comfort. So I found a wood apple, which is a type of fruit, and I threw it in the water near it and I scared it away. And then I had no more crocodile problems. So, see, an apple a day does keep the doctor away. So funny. Oh, goodness. I'm sure you missed all those lame jokes. I'm waiting for Kirsten's comment. She didn't like that one. Kirsten's just said I told terrible jokes. I thought it was funny because if the crocodile bit me and I didn't throw the wood apple in the water, then get it? Samu, yes, I did see leopards. I saw a subspecies of like the leopard that we get here. So they still look very much like our leopards. They were still the same type of rosettes on them. One thing I did notice though, Samu, is their eye color typically wasn't sort of like the greens and the blues that we see here or the yellows. Their eyes were almost like, you know, amber eyes, the lion, their eyes were like that color. That was the majority of it. So that was interesting. I think that's like the only eye color I saw in the leopards. So yeah, otherwise they were very much the same. And they don't climb a lot of trees there. Well, they climb trees, but they don't really have to take their carcasses up trees, is what I was trying to say. Because they are the top predator there. It's them and then the crocodiles. So they can eat on the floor. They don't really have to worry about anything stealing their food. So, you know, that was nice to see. I think there was one sighting, I didn't get to see it, where the leopard had taken a spotted deer up into a tree, but that's very unusual. Otherwise, they did the same things. They still climb rocks there. They go up in the trees to rest, get away. A lot of biting insects on the ground. So during the day, you'd see a lot of leopards up in trees. Yeah. That's all, really. Let's see what we can find around here. Yay, the flies are biting me. Amazing. Oh. Ramit here, I thought you were on my side. Obviously not. Says I shouldn't explain my jokes, though, make them even worse. I think I'm funny, and that's what counts. What is that? Is it a I don't actually know. There's a bird in a tree. It's a vulture! Look at those long toes. What vulture is it? A white-headed vulture? Craig? You're not sure? I don't know if it's got... Looks like it. Yeah. Probably. Oh, I can hear the game drive radio. That's unusual. Yeah, that looks like a white-headed vulture. That's something. They didn't have vultures in Sri Lanka either. They had lots of different types of raptors, but smaller ones. I think the biggest one I probably saw was the grey-headed fish eagle or a white-bellied sea eagle. It was sort of as big as they got. And there were serpent eagles. I can even show you pictures of that. Why are you up there all alone? You're just roosting. I'm not sure what it's doing. Just relaxing. Oh no, it's flying now. Just needed a bit of encouragement. Bye. Off it goes. Shall I show you some pictures of the birds I saw? Because the animals don't want to show themselves today. So, I saw this bird. Oh, there's a Eurasian spoonbill, in case you missed it. Craig, is it better if I'm in the shade? Because I think it'll be too bright. So it looks like a little crest on its head, which is quite cool. It doesn't have the red legs. So that's that one. These are not my pictures. This is from a book. Then, how crazy is this? Look at this one. The lesser adjutant, which is a glorified marabou stork. How crazy is that? I saw them and I shouted, marabou stork, and they were like, no, this other thing. And then it took me about 10 attempts to try and learn the name, because I was like, why would you call it that? But anyway, they call them that. Black-headed ibises, which are kind of like the African sacreds. What else did I see? Where's this? I want to show you something. I have to just find it. It won't take me long. Sorry, Craig. Because this is not my nice bird book. I left that one at home. Because this one I don't mind if it gets rained on. I should probably just search for it. Ah, found it. How crazy is this thing? I'll have to show you one of my pictures, though, this bird up here. Called a Brahmini kite. Glorified miniature African fish eagle. Like a third of the size. It looked exactly like a fish eagle. It was crazy. They were really awesome, too. They were nice. And then to the right is the grey-headed fish eagle that I was telling you about. They're really cool. I saw them eating a lot of tilapia. Every time I actually saw a grey-headed fish eagle, they were either chasing one another or another raptor, or they were eating fish. So, yeah, they pretty much lived up to their name. And that's all you get for today. I'm here for a while. Trying to burn all the content. Okay. Whoop, up over the bump we go. I still don't know how you can see anything here. The grass is so tall. I wonder where all the leopards are. Hiding away. We'll keep checking the tops of the trees. I'll keep checking my mobile device to see if I get any intel from the people in the east. But off you go to Sydney, who is not really having much luck either.
I am trying here on my side as well to pick up the tracks, but today is very much difficult. Leopards, they are all gone to somewhere. Maybe they are having a discussion about the thickness of the vegetation at the moment, because there is no sign of any leopard here. Since I've started, I have been driving around for quite a long time, but not even an old track of a leopard. The only tracks I'm seeing is the lions, old lion tracks. But leopards, they can be very much camouflaged here in these bushes. The bush is so very much thick at the moment. So the bush is working on the advantage. So as they like to launch a surprise to take down a prey, they must be very happy when the bush is like this. They can easily stalk from cover to cover. So even by the very big trees, there is nothing hanging. I don't know where these leopards are. Here, there's a very strong smell. This smell, can you pick it up, BK? Yeah, even my camera op can smell it. But this very strong smell is telling me this side of the park is where the hippopotamus are feeding the most. Because I can pick it up that this smell is associated with the hippopotamus. That is how their body scent smells like. It's a very strong smell. And where they demarcate as well, you can pick it up. So it means here is where during the dark they are coming for better grazing. Sorry. So they can be able to travel long distances just according to the availability of food. Yeah, there's even tracks. Yeah, it's them. You can see this tracks. No, the track here. Someone else drove over the track. It's not clear. Yeah, indeed. By this time of the year, it gets very difficult to spot those kind of beautiful cats. Yesterday, I was with the Unkuhumas. When they're all lying down, if you don't know they're there, you won't easily pick them up. So it's very difficult. That's why when the bush is like this, it's very much important for us to consider trekking. So we must have to trek here because the trek will then help us to judge these animals are here. Otherwise, just from the side, it's not easy because they can easily hide in these bushes. But if you see the tracks, then you're going to stop and start concentrating the most in certain areas. So you can see how the bush is thick like. Duty, the hippo smell sometimes, if you don't know it, it smells like a dead animal. So that smell is very bad. It does smell like a dead animal or carrion sometimes. So here in the bush, the two strongest scents that I have experienced is the hippopotamus and the elephant musk when they left behind the scent here by these bushes. And those ones are very much strong. Because they can even stay much longer just by the trees here. So here I can see the elephant has been here because some of the grasses that are cutted and they're just left on the road. So somewhere here this morning, we saw that penguin on safari. Let me tell you something very interesting about these smells. This is from my own experience since I've been a guide. It's very easy to distinguish the species when not seeing them just from the smell. Lions. If the lions were feeding on a carrion, a very old carrion, when they're lying down in the bushes, you can pick it up. Also, if it rains now and they get wet, you can, especially when they're not that very wet, when they're a little bit wet, you can easily pick up their scent from the bushes. So these animals, you can smell them very nicely. So, but also, the lions, if they are in the place and one of them decides to defecate, you can easily pick up their smell, because their droppings, they smell so very much strongly when they are still very fresh. So if you pick up that and start looking, you'll find them. And it's easy, very easy to tell the lion droppings from the smell. Their smell is so very much strong. So the one for the hyena, the smells of the droppings when it's fresh, it's like a very old dead animal. That one, decomposed animal. But the lions, for them, it smells bad but strong. You can tell even when passing by that these droppings here is for the lions. So we have got a polar. The worst smell in the bush is the lion droppings. Hey, the lion droppings are so very much strong, especially when they're so fresh. Those ones, they will even make you leave the sighting. I have seen the other guys withdrawing from the sightings because of the smell from the lion droppings. It is so very much strong. So every time when I'm with the Nkuhumas, because it's a lot, if one of them start defecating, they will all defecate at the same time. Hey, I've got to change directions every time, consider the wind direction, because it is so strong. So now here, look at that. This is beautiful. I've got the 2 water bucks. Look, they are now showing off their horns. Look at that. It's a very small bachelor head. It's only 3 we can see now. So these ones also does secrete a smell from what is called a subcutaneous gland. Subcutaneous gland is a gland which is by their hairs, which is there in order to serve as a repellent when it comes to the absorption of water. So it's like a grease. So when this animal goes into water, coming down, they get dried because that kind of a gland, subcutaneous gland, is there in order to prevent water. So, and this animal has got the hollow hairs, but those hollow hairs does not absorb water because of that kind of a gland. Look at that. So if you look here on the side of the neck, you will see that white beep. These animals also compete, make use of the exaggeration of their neck parts. I can pick up the scent now. Yeah, that is the scent from the waterbuck. And this scent, waterbucks, they believe in it a lot because they don't even use droppings and urine for demarcation purposes. They believe in themselves. They believe in the body scent. Body scent is strong enough to advertise their presence and their territorial status in the area. Look at that. So I'm sure those ones can be so vicious. You can even hear them clicking. So they are fighting here. We are not even seeing any female. So maybe it's not serious. Or maybe it's a real fight. Let's just see how this is going to take us to. But I can see that they are still clicking and pushing. Look at that. This is amazing. There is even a belief that the waterbuck animals such as big predators, lions, don't really eat them. Rosinda, I don't think this is a territorial fight. Something you must know, Rosinda, is that a bachelor head is consisted of the big males, which has been defeated on the old territories, together with the young males, which have not started mating yet. I am saying this because I want to show you something interesting. When the old males mingling with the young males, you will always see the young males playing and pushing the old males in order to obtain the necessary skills for them in order to make it during the real challenge. So in other words, when these animals are playing is an integral part of learning. So these animals, when they're playing, is when they're learning the survival skills. So it's so important for the old ones to transfer the skills to the young ones so that after that they can be able to establish their own families after a strong fight. So the fight is still on. But if you look at their colors, you will see that one of them is dark, another one is light. So not too sure if maybe the color of the of the hairs determines the age of an animal, but mostly it's like that. So the one from this side, if you look at the horns as well, in size they're much smaller. The one who is turning around now, the horns are much, look now, the other one is joining. So you can see they're all just clicking, 3 of them. Now it's another one. But let's now go to Taylor, who's got a beautiful sighting.
Oh, look at this. We've got a dwarf mongoose, but it was something spectacular that just happened. Not another yellow-billed, hornbill mongoose sighting, but there was a crested francolin interacting with this colony of dwarf mongoose. It was hilarious. I don't actually know what was going on, but the francolin was chasing after all the mongoose. It was really funny. Craig, did you record that by any chance? Craig got a brief thing on it. It was so funny. I really wish that francolin would come out again. But anyways, we'll just sit patiently and wait, because I'd love to see something like that again. Ah, Kirsten is prepping a replay. Look at her go. That's amazing. Oh, technology is so wonderful. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be... It's not as spectacular as the mongoose versus hornbill sighting. I mean, let's be honest. But that was still pretty cool. It's now only the second time I've seen, you know, a bird and a mongoose properly interacting with one another. So that's quite special. But this is nice, playing in the golden light, although it's still very hot. With all that fur on their body, they must be warm. Look at that little one. Hello, little pup. Yes, have you never seen a vehicle before? We'll come on over. Goodness, why is that game drive radio so dark? Is it the game drive radio? Might be. Let me turn it right down. Oh, wrestling match. And of course, youngsters like this will wrestle quite a bit. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to send you to what we just saw a couple of minutes ago. How cool was that? Wasn't that amazing? I know, very brief, short and sweet, but it was quite funny. You could see that francolin was not having anything to do with these mongoose, and was definitely trying to chase it out of the way. So that's quite funny. So there's a combination within this family of adults, and then of course the youngsters. And as we know, with all the different animals, playing is a very important part of development. We obviously see it with children, and them wrestling with one another like this is great, because if they need to defend themselves, you know, they'll know some little ninja skills. If they see a snake, maybe they know how to fight off a snake too, and then gobble it down for dinner. But that's really cool. Look at them all standing up on their back legs. There's quite a few different groups of pups that are playing about, where they really are wrestling hardcore with one another. They can't be very old either. Maybe just a few months old. And look at those sharp teeth. They better be careful. Well, those of you that have ever had puppies, you know what those needle-like teeth feel like on your skin. I'm pretty sure those little mongoose have got even sharper teeth. Wow, look at that. All I'm hearing now is John Cena. Dun, 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 and then body slamming. That's what's going on in my head right now. Ginger, I have no idea what it is about mongoose and me, but yes, you're quite right. For some reason, they do seem to love me. I like them, though. I mean, remember how many times I've sat at a mongoose mound and waited for them to come out. Most of the time, it didn't really work. Bob, you've proclaimed that I am the mongoose whisperer. Perhaps this is Craig's favorite noise. Oh, hang on, wait, there's a dove. Do you see the dove, Craig? Ooh, be careful. There's some young'uns there. Look, they're watching the dove. Can you see that? Careful where you wander. Oh, there's another one. Look, do you see that one on the right? Look at that mongoose. It looked like it was coming closer. Let's see. The unsuspecting couple on the left. Oh, hello. Yep, that just happened. You see? That's why they have age restrictions on movies, because those children were not ready for it. That's exactly what happened. Traumatized now. They're still there, though. They're creeping out every now and then. That's funny. I would love it if they raced on over and decided to chase the doves away. That would have been spectacular. I just want to see. I hear a car. Ah. Wonderful people. I'm going to have to move off of the road very quickly. There's a vehicle behind me. I'll go past. We'll come back. Let me just go past them. Sorry, doves, coming through. Maybe they'll come out again. So I'll let this vehicle go around. I can hear them squeaking in here. Let me pull over. Let's maybe sit here. Let me just... Okay. Let's see, Craig. They're in there. Should we try to call them out? For some reason, when you make those really high-pitched noises, they come out. Yes, I can hear you squeaking in there. I can't imagine they'd be nervous of the vehicle. I mean, we weren't particularly far away from them. Come on. Might just need to wear our patience pants a little bit. I can't actually even see any of them. I can just... Oh, no, I can. Craig, let me try and point to where they are. Yep. There. Project Alpha, just because you said it's a ridiculous sound, I'm going to carry on doing it now. Just jokes. I won't annoy you. It is a ridiculous sound. But I bet you can't do it. Or how many of you have tried to do that? See if you can make that noise. Takes practice. Oh, there they go. See, they're there. You can just see their sort of shadows moving in between the grass. They're coming closer. Come on, little things. They're building up the courage. I'd actually really like to sit here and wait for them to come out. Can you hear them? I'm going to sit quietly. Maybe we can turn the ambience all the way up. It's very loud. So those are not little birds that you're hearing. Those are the little mongoose. So there's lots and lots of them all communicating on either side of the road. Oh, there we go, Craig. That termite mound in there. There we go. There they are. Lorena, you said your teeth would fall out if you made that sound. Why? Oh, that's so great. Now you're making me worried that my teeth might come out if I keep doing that. That could be a great thing to tell your children. If you didn't want them to do that noise, you could say to them, if you keep doing that sound, your teeth will fall out. There they are. Hi, mongoose. My mum always used to say to me, if you keep pulling your face, the wind will change and it will stay like that. I tried so hard, and I'm from the Eastern Cape. The wind used to blow very hard there. I suppose that might actually explain a lot. Oh, two little ones. Two very small pups, in fact. Looked like it was getting reprimanded for a second there. Huh. Yeah, Kirsty, funny. That's hilarious. Yes, it does explain my face. Zoop, not spending too much time out on the road. Yes, best you be careful. You need to be vigilant. Oh, look at all the pups. There's 4 of them now. Look how small they are. Oh, those are teeny tiny ones. Wait, quickly, get back. Adults obviously said, nope, it's not safe, it's not clear. No, coming back out again. Yes, very vulnerable. Those are so small. Those are much smaller than the ones that were wrestling. Yes, quickly go. Shoo, that one didn't quite make the jump. The next lot are coming out now. They're still pretty agile and nimble for such young ones. These must only be a few weeks old. Maybe a month. And I suppose it's very important that they keep chirping and communicating with one another. I think it makes them feel a little bit safer. Oh, coming out again. You can do it. Cross the road. Oh, shame. They're so sweet. They're so tiny. I reckon that they're probably, even with their tail, oh, there goes the adult coming back to save them. I'll fetch you. Oh, yes, pick it up. Because I've never seen a mongoose do that. Yes, pick the pup up. Look how cool that is. No ways. Did you see how the little one curled its tail up too? That's amazing. How do I look? That's got another one. Take it. That's so cool. I've never seen mongoose do that before. Craig, have you seen dwarf mongoose do that before? No. Why not? Nature's not kind to you. No, I'm joking. That was amazing. That's enough mongoose for me, though, because they've now all crossed the road. That was spectacular. It was kind of like that time that I saw the bush baby carrying its little one, its infant. That surprised me a whole lot. Oh, wonderful. What a fantastic afternoon with the mongoose. First, Franklin chasing them. And then, well, there we go. Some new animal behavior which I haven't seen before. I actually didn't even know that they carried them like that. I would imagine when they were really little. But, I mean, they're not tiny. And you could see that they were quite happy and they could quite easily navigate across the road. They were just, I suppose, young and nervous. Cool. We'll see what else pops up this afternoon and other wonderful things we can find. Sydney has not found a living thing, but he's looking at the tracks of a living thing.
I have got something here on the ground. I want to show you now, but I'll have to go to the other side. I'm going to start showing you from here. If you look here, you can see there's a mark which is going there and is passing here. And this grass was taken down and it was put down like this by this animal. And you can see here where the animal was going. You can see where the animal pushes the sand like this is where it's going. So a very big snake crossed here before we got here. So the snakes, by this time of the year, is when they are highly active. So only during the dry season, they hibernate because they must have to avoid the cold weather. As the snakes, they depend on the solar radiation. Solar radiation is the energy from the sun for their own survival. Unfortunately, they cannot convert 90% of their food into heat energy like what birds, animals, mammals, and us do. So they've got to hide all the time. So the easiest way to see where the snake is going, you check where it's pushing the sand. Where it's pushing the sand is where it's going. So maybe this is a black mamba, I don't know, because if it's a python, it was going to be a straight movement, because the python, they use straight movement. Then the black mambas, they use a serpentine movement. Serpentine movement is this movement of a snake going like this. That is a serpentine movement. So it means it was going like this. So something interesting about snakes is that snakes can be able to see something we cannot see, something animals cannot see. You know, the snake can be able to see heat signatures. They can see thermal. Look at the python. If you look at the python here, between the nostrils and the eyes, he's got a small pit which is there in order to detect and see the thermal at night. When not seeing the animals at all, the snakes can be able to see when the eyes are not working, not even any other sense organ used. They can be able to see the thermal and detect heat signatures. So it is called a thermal sensing. So when we are using the thermal camera at night, what we are seeing there is what snakes are seeing as well by themselves, some of them, some of the species. So I can't wait to see my first python here in Juma. So if you look at how these snakes moves, I want to tell you a traditional story on these animals that are going and doing the serpentine. You know, when the child is born, if the child is born and we see that the child is having a problem, is not sleeping, every time the child is doing like this, you know what we do traditionally? We go and look for the lizard. That's that normal lizard, the one whereby when it's running away, it cuts off the tail to avoid being caught, which is something called autotomy. Autotomy is just a self-mutilation to avoid danger. Those lizards who are doing that, we take that small piece of the tail which is left behind, and we take it and then we fry it. We will use something like a steel. We fry it into the ashes. Then we take that ashes and mix with the soft pap. So when we are giving the soft pap to the small child or to the newborn, we mix it with that, and that is what is going to cure that kind of a sympathine movement of the baby, so the baby will sleep nicely without having those kind of problems. So that is what is happening, and we are still doing that when there are those kind of challenges. There is no sign at all on these animals, but now I'm going to the hyena den. I'm going to try my luck that side, and that is the side where we left the Unkuhumas. They were somewhere in that area, but they went to the private property. Maybe they will be coming back to our side this afternoon. So now let's cross over to my other friend.
We've got two cool things. The bronze-winged corsair has run away, but can you hear the snapping sound? I'm too scared to move because I don't want to disturb it. That is not somebody chopping wood. That is a red-crested korhaan. Now it's just stopped. Do you know, while I was in Kruger, I saw one doing its display, which was really cool. So far away, though. Anyways, that was nice. Let's see if we can catch up with the corsair. I don't know if we're going to see that birdie. I'll just check, because the grass is so long. Let's do... Can you see it? Ah, sorry. I didn't even see you. Hey, buddy. It was a lot closer. I was trying to get a good position for the corsair. But these are awesome birds. Did you successfully call a lovely lady in? Or are you being ignored? But look at that camouflage, though. I wouldn't have even known that it was there. Beautiful big eyes, too. Can you do your display here for us? For those of you that have never seen a red-crested korhaan display, I recommend popping it into YouTube and watching it firsthand. I don't think I could do it any justice in describing it properly. Look how relaxed it is, though. It's like right next to the car. I don't know if it thinks that maybe we can't see it. That's pretty awesome to be pretty much on top of this bird. It does have the advantage, though, because it could just disappear at any moment. If I turn my head around, I probably wouldn't be able to spot it again in the grass. Look how close it's going to come. Please do it again. Please can we watch you do the snapping of the bill? Hello. That doesn't work. Okay, where's our corsair gone? Craig, it's run away. Thank you, bird. That was fantastic. We're having a lot of luck this afternoon. Maybe we will get some wild dogs. It was nice to see that. There's the corsair. Also hidden in the grass. Oh, wonderful. Well, this corsair is digging up something in the ground. Maybe it's just eating some termites. It looks like there's some termites or something moving around. However, Isaac has got another animal that is on the move. Hopefully, they'll catch some dinner.
Welcome back, and here I have the sausages, and they're on the move in the long grass. Remember, it's very, very high grass. We can't see very far, but they all look to be very alert. It's like they saw something, but who am I to say anything? I haven't seen. There is a lioness that's running way to the left, a long ways over that way. So we can see her. I see that one is also very alert. So I don't know what they're looking at. So what we're gonna do is reverse a little bit and then give you a different angle so that if it happens, we can go there. I can see a lioness going a long ways away over there. What I'm gonna do she's there. I'm gonna let Manu use the camera and show you where she is. She's over there. Manu, you see her? Over there? Yeah, she's over there. She's there. See, she's running. So I don't know what she sees, but she's on her way, going really like hectically, like she had seen something. I don't know what she saw. Maybe there's something, maybe there's nothing, but I don't know. Just hoping that there is something because they need something. This is what happens with lions. They can stay for very long in one spot doing nothing. Then all of a sudden, they realize there's something. You see, that one also is running in a different direction. So I don't know exactly what's happening. And that one is headed that way. So they all spread out in the long grass. And they all spread out in the long grass. I don't know what they have seen, but all I can do is wait and see what is happening. But once this female moves, maybe I'll move. Okay, she's moving. Okay, I'm gonna move now. That is Limpy, and you can tell she's not, she doesn't run very fast. So I'm gonna keep up with her, and hopefully, there is something. I don't know where the cubs are. They are lost somewhere in the long grass. So let's go. Hopefully there's no warthog hole or anything, but they are definitely going for something in the long grass somewhere here. They do need something, and I don't see anything, so I would suspect it is a warthog. I don't see them anymore, any of them. Oh, I see Limpy, she's off to my right. I'm hoping that, we're gonna catch up with them. They can disappear on you very quickly if you don't know where they are. Well, the strategy in this long grass is to actually ambush or surprise whatever they are going for. It's an added advantage for them. The only disadvantage is if they miss it, or or if there is nothing. That is the only disadvantage. But I can tell these guys are going. They are going somewhere in front of me here. Manu just pointed out that they are headed towards the road, so I don't see. Shane, you say that you really hope we can see a hunt. Well, you never know. I'm gonna stop a little bit and see if I can find them. Do you see them, Manu? Is that a warthog? Oh, there they are. They're still going. They're still going. Okay, I'm gonna switch off the vehicle and wait. I don't know what they're going for. Paula, yes, I survived. It wasn't a poisonous fly that I swallowed. It was, I think, a very nutritious one because I feel very energized after I swallowed it. I'm okay, don't worry. Thank you very much, Paula. These guys are going and going. Where's Limpy? Do you see Limpy somewhere? There she is. Poor girl. Yeah, there she is. Catching up. And I'm sure the cubs are following her. The cubs are following her. So let's continue on and see, what is happening. We don't want to miss any piece of the action because I don't know how fast it's going to happen or where it's going to happen. So let's move, go. Buffalo? I understand that Manu can see buffalo. I don't see the buffalo. If it's buffalo, then it's going to be a long evening. Yeah? Yeah. Well, I'm hoping I don't go drive into a warthog hole. That is the first big thing. I don't want to be trying to get unstuck while they are making a kill. I don't see them anywhere here in front of me, but they have disappeared somewhere here. Hold on tight, guys. Yes, they're somewhere here. Every now and then I'll stop and see if we can see them. I don't see. Oh, here they are. Is that her? One of them? Yes, I see one over there to the right, long ways up. There she is. They're still moving. That's one. Looks like whatever they're going for is very near. Oh, they're going for the ostrich. And what else is there? Wow, this is going to be very interesting. Is it they're going for the ostrich? Wow. Okay. Yes, hold on. Yes, yes. Let's stay, wait there. Let's go around. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and we're just about to witness something. If it happens, it's going to go into record books, because these lionesses are going for ostrich. It's such a rare hunt. So let's stop here and observe exactly what's happening. But you know, this is the Sausage Tree Pride, and they are going for these ostriches here. The ostriches are quite a distance away, and I don't know how close the lions are. It's going to be very interesting. For some reason, the ostriches are feeling a bit skittish, so I don't know if it's going to happen. But the lions are somewhere in the long grass. I don't know if they noticed the ostriches noticed the lions, because they are running all around. I don't know where the lions are. They're in the long grass somewhere. The ostriches are just playing around. This is typical of ostrich when they're very excited. I'm sure they're very unaware exactly what is unfolding. The lions are somewhere in the long grass. I cannot tell you exactly where we are, where they are. They're somewhere in the long grass. Let's pan around and have a look. I don't see any, but the Sausage Tree Pride is somewhere in the long grass. Somewhere here, I don't see any. So we don't know exactly where they are, and it can happen any time. I don't see any lionesses. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's two. Oh, so it's unfortunate. The ostriches. Mrs. Lapwing, is an ostrich enough for 5 lionesses? Of course not, but it will be a snack to take them to the next meal. Looks like they've given up, but there's one lioness to the left there. She's still going. She's quite a ways. She has to catch up. They're quite a ways up. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's very exciting. I've never seen lion hunt ostrich. I've only seen a leopard eating an ostrich, but I've never seen lion. I've heard of them, killing ostrich, but never seen. So I'm very excited, and I don't know if it's going to happen. These two have relaxed. What can we say? Nothing. Just wait and see. Well, I don't know what to say, but let's just wait and see if it's going to happen. I'm going to be here. It's getting dark. We have infrared camera, and we're going to follow them a little bit more. Hopefully, if it happens, then there we go. We're on IR now. That lioness is still very focused. You can tell she's still moving. The body language tells me all of them are very keen to get something. Yes, you see how low she is? She's keeping very low. And this grass is an added advantage. Carolina, well, of course, if they get a chance, they will use their legs and claws, and actually they could injure the lion. But for a lioness, it is a piece of cake to kill an ostrich. You could tell that female is still going. So let's continue on. I'm very far away, and so I'm going to try to get to the road, which is down this way, and then turn around, go towards where they are. But they're quite a long ways away. Well, it's very easy for a lion to kill an ostrich. If it gets it, it's just a matter of biting the neck, and that's it. But to get close to one is next to impossible. But who am I to say anything? Lions are very determined. I could see them chasing or, stalking in the long grass. So you never know. It might happen. It's getting dark. So it's even harder for me to see a distance away. Do I see the ostrich? Francis, thank you for your question. You asked me if ostriches have got good eyesight at night. I don't think so. No, they don't. They're birds, and usually they prefer to stay put at night. So the lions have got an upper hand here. Do I see them? I'm gonna stop somewhere up here and have. Vicky, thank you for your question. You asked me if a lion, an ostrich can run faster than a lion. Well, if it's got that, the lion hasn't broken that safety distance, yes. But if they are like 20 meters away, I think the lion will get the ostrich. Manu, do you see them? Where are they? I understand they're still ahead of us somewhere over here, and I've been driving, and I don't see anything. Let's stop and have a look what's happening. Where are the ostriches? I don't see the ostriches. I don't see just the lions. Yes. Where are the lions? I don't see them. Yeah, they are a long ways up there somewhere. Yeah, it's getting dark, so it's very hard to, locate the lions. But I understand they're somewhere there. Yeah. This is the thing. If you don't know where they are, you can easily lose them in this long grass. They're somewhere there. They're somewhere there. I can see them actually. Yeah, we can see them. Is that a lioness? Yeah, looks like it. There's one there. I think there is one to the left of that time at Mount. Yeah, they're a long ways away. Well, I don't think it's going to happen because the ostriches have disappeared. Oh, there they are, all of them. All of a sudden, they just appeared. Wow, abracadabra. This is what happens. They disappear and appear, and looks like they're still very determined. Yeah. Well, I've never seen the sausage tree pride this far. They're quite far away from, normally where they are. This area is the boundary between the Owinos and the sausage tree pride. I can tell that the body language is telling me they're still on the hunt. Still on the hunt. They are going, they're very serious. Okay, I'm gonna stay here, but what I can do is tell you goodbye for now. Thank you for joining me in this short broadcast. We might be back with you shortly if something happens. Bye-bye. Welcome back, everybody. The lions are still on a hunt, and yes, while they're continuing on with the hunt of the ostrich, let's take you to Sydney while I try and catch up with them.
I am so very lucky this afternoon as we got to the hyenas who are now busy suckling their cubs. And let me tell you something, a very hot welcome took place here. We were welcomed by a very distinctive smell, which was like a carcass, a dried carcass. And still we can pick it up. It's showing me that this hyenas has been feeding on some of the dead animals, the carrions somewhere around this field. So you can see the little ones are suckling. Hyenas are one of those scavengers, but sometimes they also kill their own prey. These animals are so intelligent, and most of their diet is consisted of their own kill. Look at that. They can smell from very far, and they do rely on their sense of smell, and it works well. Look at this very nice body build, which allows them to go very long distances, up to 5 kilometers, until the animal is tired. Then they take the animal down. They've got very strong strength, so they need a lot of energy. It's amazing to see that these little ones can suckle up to 18 months. That is unusual for the predators. So even if the mother is not coming back very often to the den, the milk they're drinking now has got quite a lot of fat content, and they can keep the little ones much going for quite a long time. So where these little ones are staying is by this very big termite mound next to us, where we have witnessed the kind of predators such as leopards digging and wanting to get hold of warthogs. He's telling you, if the leopards picks it up or the wild dogs picks the little ones in here, they will go down and try to get hold of them. Hyenas are intelligent. Let me tell you why. We have seen here in Juma on several occasions hyenas moving their little ones from one place to the next. They have to leave the dens very often. Once the den starts to develop the scent, they don't like it, because they know the scent can inform the other big predators that they've got the cubs hiding there. And also they consider the flies as well as the fleas infestations. The fleas infestation in there is also what determines them to leave the hole to go and look for the next one. So it's all about the safety of their cubs. So these little ones, they are going to be with this family, but when they are matured enough, the males will have to be kicked out. And when they're kicked out, some of them, they can be solitary, but some of them will then go and join the other clans in the surrounding. And when joining other clans, something interesting there is taking place. They don't get approved to join a clan by the males there. The males on the other side don't have any say. As usual, you know, by the hyenas, males, they are very much low ranked. So the females is the one that are on high ranks. So males, they are on low ranks. So when the male is leaving this clan to the other clan, he can be approved by the female there to be part of. So he cannot go there like the lions to go and fight for the dominance and take over. It doesn't work like that. Here, the girl power rules. Oh, look at that very nice black tail there. So now, let's go back to Taylor and hear how her search is going.
Right. I wonder if Byron is still watching. I got messages from everyone saying that Byron is watching currently with Lisa, because he's in America. So if you haven't seen him, go find Byron and visit him. And then flex in front of him. He loves it when people does that. So hi, Byron. Why are you not using the hashtag and talking to us via Twitter? Just because you know us doesn't mean that you should get special privileges. Anyways, I've actually seen Byron so many times since I've been back. He made the mistake of moving down the road from where my parents live. Ha! So I'm there not all the time, but frequently. I don't know where else I was going with that. That was awkward. Hi, Byron. We miss you. Come back soon. We'll see you on Monday. I'll come pick you up from the airport. No, I won't, because I'll be here. Just jokes. Cool. So we're going to leave Chitwa now. Sadly, none of the animals we wanted to see are here. Ah! It was bound to happen. An insect was bound to fly into my mouth, but I spat it out before it could enter. I've got good at it now. I believe you're all missing Byron. Of course you do. Who doesn't miss Mr. Butts? So apparently Sibuya is on Little Gari, so that's that side. But she's nowhere near anywhere where we can see her, and she's going in the wrong direction. So I think that's our chance of seeing her again for today done. So we'll mosey on back towards Gari Main Triple M, and I think let's just drive that boundary and see if the Nkuhumas, the lions, maybe get up and move in our direction, because that's where they were this morning. They were on Arathusa, in that sort of corner somewhere around there. And we saw their tracks crossing the road, which is cool. So maybe our luck is not over just yet. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful sunset behind the Drakensberg Mountains. I'll show you now. I've just got to drive a little bit down Gari Main because we need to avoid the power lines. So it'll just take some moving. Get away, fly, go. There's a vehicle. Ah, it's my friend. Hi. Yeah, look what the cat dragged in, says my friend. Hello. I can't chat for too long. I'm live. I'll come and see you guys, though. I'll come pop around. Hello. Bye. I'll come say cheers. Wonderful. How cool is that? So, the new GM of Chitwa. Yes, thank you, everyone's. Well, everyone's really nice. They're like, oh, it's so good to see you. Look what the cat dragged in. It's one of those great backhanded compliments. You're like, is it? People have done that to me, especially Kirsten. Kirsten does it to me the most. You know what I realized, and I told Craig this today, is that if I one day just disappear off the face of the earth and I leave my mobile phone behind and they go through my phone to look for clues, if they read the messages between Kirsty and I, they will put her down as a suspect for maybe making me disappear, because she's very sarcastic, but it's just, you know, how she shows affection. She doesn't like to show her emotions. You can't say anything now, Kirsten. Kirsten says she's going to delete everything off my phone. You don't know my password. Jokes, it's your birthday. No. Okay, I'm going to try and show you the sunset now. It's already gone. But it's very pretty. Okay. Almost there, I promise. Looks like we can get... Oh, Craig. Why the tree? There's too many trees. I'm sorry. It's not as spectacular as I wanted it to be, because with the bouts of rain, there is now, well, sudden growth in all the plants. But there is the last of the orange hue, and the birds are calling one last time too. Yes, Kirsten, I know it's not the best sunset I've ever put up on camera, but it's all I've got, okay? It's just everything. I just put it out there, wear my heart on my sleeve, and look how you treat me. I'm, of course, just pretending. Lovely to hear the sounds. Craig, all the way down the road, there is a thing. And I'm sure it's just a branch. Can I point it out to you? I don't know if we're actually going to be able to see it. It's like there. Oh, no, it's a tree. But I think it's good to check down those roads, because you never know when we might see a leopard come strolling on. We're going to go down that very straight road. You don't realize how much of an incline there is. So this is Little Gari. Not Little Gari. What is this road called? Gari Main. I've forgotten everything. I'm hopeless. Okie dokie. Off you go back to the hyena den with Sydney, and hopefully the hyenas are going to start to wake up.
So you can see that I'm still here, and we are just seeing these very strong social bonds which is created by the females holding their babies after drinking. Look at that. So this is amazing. So the little ones are just lying down there, and the mothers are also lying down, no problem. And they're all holding their babies. So hyenas are not like wild dogs. You know, wild dogs, they go out for feeding purposes. When they come back to these den sites, they vomit what they have eaten. They regurgitate what they have eaten in order to share with their little ones. Here, by the hyenas, is different. Hyenas, they go and they bring back the food back to the den, which is very much dangerous, because bringing back the food by the den has got the negative consequences. We saw it earlier by the old hyena Juma den when they brought some piece of meat, and that attracted the avoca male to come and attack them. So I think hyenas, the idea of bringing food back to the den is jeopardizing the safety, their own safety, and the safety of their little ones. Because if the little, look at that. That was beautiful to see them opening and showing off those very strong teeth with the carnassials, which are responsible to pulverize the bones of the big animals. Look at that. Look at those teeth. So those are those teeth. Look at that. So those are the strong teeth which crack all these bones all the time. So they can feel the atmospheric pressure is now going down, and they can feel that the time is. Look at that. When these animals are grooming the newborns like this, cleaning the newborns and licking the skin and the hairs, it gives the little ones a lot of vitamin D, and again improve the growth, and they also then activate the urinary organs and the excretory organs for droppings by licking their little ones. So it helps with the blood circulation of the body as well. So, but this kind of behavior, you will see it as well, done by the antelopes after birth. They lick the placenta. When they're licking the placenta is when they are taking the placenta and eating it. Eating the placenta helps them in order to kickstart the oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone which is responsible to produce milk. In other words, when they're eating that placenta, it helps them in order to prepare for the milk production. Look at that. This is a very nice grooming. You can see the hyena is doing it very fast. So this is beautiful. The little one is very happy about it. You can see there. Look at that. Look at the tip of the tail for the other little one there with the black. They can easily communicate and spot each other. Also the other, look at that. This is now becoming an amazing sighting. So they're going to miss their mom very soon, as the moms must have to go and look for something to eat. The nice sloping back, which makes them look like a giant. Look at that. Now he's coming to greet us. This is an amazing experience. Look at them just coming behind me. Wildlife is amazing. I heard something. I'm just suspecting it was a lion roar. I just heard something now. Paula, the hyenas, I'm not too sure exactly in terms of the amount of hours. But what I can tell you is that to the hyenas is different. Hyenas are opportunistic, and the hyenas, what they do is that when sleeping during the day at the den, if they pick up a strong smell, they must go and look for the food. They do sleep, yes, from the morning as well, just until the sunset. So it means it's not like the lions. Now when the sun is going down, hyenas must have to go out and look for something to eat. So especially now, oh, I've got them here. They are just sniffing the vehicle here. When they are having the babies, they must have to eat a lot. Yeah, look at them here. This is amazing. I can even smell them. The little ones don't smell bad. So it means it's only the adults who's got that very strong smell from the carcasses. So these little ones are here. So now, let's go back to the Masai Mara, where Isaac has got the lions on the move.
Evie. Welcome back, everyone. I have the Sausage Tree Pride somewhere in front of me here. I can't see them. They're in the long grass, but they're somewhere up here. I'm trying to catch up with them. Hopefully you can see them. They gave up on hunting the ostrich, and I don't know what they're up to now, but they're really, really on the move. I've never seen them move this fast. They are moving and moving and moving. Where are they? Let's try and find them. They're somewhere here. Let's see if we can find them with our infrared camera. I don't know if we can see them. Yeah, they're somewhere up there. Well, they're somewhere in the long grass. Definitely we had them. Just before you came to us, we had them. They're somewhere in the long grass here. Can't see them at all. But the grass is so high, you have to be very close. But we can be close because we have to follow them from a distance. We don't want to be part of what's going to stop them from eating. So we're following from a long distance away. Sometimes, oh, there they are. I see them. Yeah. They're quite a long way down this way, and they're all very focused on heading somewhere. I don't know what exactly where they're going, but they look like they are on a mission. They're over here. Yeah, they're over here. We're gonna share them with you right now. Here they are. All 5 of them. I don't know where the cubs are, but they could be following from a distance. Here they are, to my right. There they are. All in the long grass. Back together. It means they are no longer hunting for the ostrich, because the ostrich maybe have moved very far, and so they're still trying to sniff something else. Quite busy and determined. They're heading somewhere for sure. So let's continue on. I'm going to head to the road and then turn to the right, and hopefully... Yes, while I do that, let me take you to Sydney, who's got some very playful hyenas, and hopefully when you come back, we'll see something.
We are witnessing a greeting ceremony here. The little ones, they are all sniffing this adult male here, and the male is also sniffing the genitals of these little ones. It has been amazing. Maybe he's going to also check these other ones. It's like he's doing kind of an inspection, but you know, it's normal. Hyenas, their greeting ceremony is involving the erection of the genitals and the licking of the genitals. So the erection of the genitals by the hyenas is just like raising an arm. It's very simple. Look at that. Look at that. This is amazing. So the little ones are also trying to groom the adult there. A pretty left here a few minutes ago. This one just came down now, so I am not too sure if she's still around here, because this one looks like it's a he. So Pretty was nesting them, and after that Pretty and the other one left, and this one, he just came now. And when he came, they started running to the hole and they came out. Crystal, I didn't get the name of this very beautiful hyena male who is now playing with the cubs. Look at that, just here behind me. So I've got to talk softly. So they're just here. Saka. Saka is sniffing. He's sniffing my shoe. Saka must not take my shoe now. I will have a problem with Saka now. Hey, Saka was sniffing my shoe, but now it's fine. So I can see they're just here. You can see very much relaxed, not worried. So I didn't move at all when he was sniffing. This is an amazing experience. I have never been so close to the hyena before because he was just like right at my shoe, right here next to me. That was something else. So the little ones are still here as well. So they can hear very well because when they pick up the movement of the camera, they run a little bit and come back. They are all sniffing here. So these little ones, they start to eat meat when they are at least 5 months old. So now some of them maybe have started, or the others are still depending on milk completely. So we are very much honored this afternoon. You've got these hyenas, amazing. So I can hear, you can hear that hyena is at the den and is calling the other ones. I can hear that hyena doing, ooh. I was not afraid, but I was just worried that my shoe, because it has been walking a lot and stepping on things, he might pick up some of the oils and some of the food, maybe the scent, and grab it, but not as a sign of attack, just because it's normal. If you leave your shoe or something else, they will come and take it. It means mine is clean. When it's not clean, the hyenas are going to take it. Look now, look now. Something is happening there now. Again, the greeting ceremony is starting. So that hyena was at the door of the den doing something like, ooh. That is what he was doing there. I'm sure he was trying to call the other ones inside. So you can even see now he's looking at me when I'm doing that. Is what he was doing there. The little ones are doing the practice, you see now. I'm sure they're just doing it for fun because they've been together for a long time. Look, that one as well is also going to do the same. This is amazing. I think this is the best greeting ritual amongst all the animals in the bush. I don't think there's any other species which has got the most beautiful greeting as the hyenas. They just have their unique kind of greeting ceremony. So what these hyenas are doing, like this, when the adults are marking the territory, this is what they do. They go to the grasses and they take grasses in between the legs and they do something called pasting. That is where you're going to see the two markings, the dark and the light whitish marking, which is there for demarcation purposes. That is how they mark. They make use of the anal glands as well as the droppings. You can see this one is trying to go there by the grasses. Look at what this one is doing. So if you look at that male earlier, when he was doing it, you could see that there was a protruding part of the excretory organ at the back where then he was doing this kind of marking from. And this is a beautiful Tuesday. Look at that. You can see the little ones also got a lot of ticks by the ears. You can see the ticks there. Those black dots you're seeing by the ears, those are the ticks. Oh, you can hear the bubbling casinos. The frogs that are calling, listen. Those are the bubbling casinos. There's a little water holes here nearby. So they are making it much more nice. So, Minamu, the hyenas, if you can check here now, the ones that we are seeing with the spots, it means they're old. But if you can check, These hyenas were born somewhere last year. Some of them, it was August, September. So the ones which are old, if you can calculate the month now, you will see is the ones that were born first. The ones who are inside the den that I saw a few days ago, they are still small. So it means when they're getting old is when the spores is starting to develop, and that very nice dark brown color, chocolate color kind of is starting to disappear. So mostly you will see that as they are going towards 4 months, 5 months, you will see them now starting to dominate these beautiful colors. Unbelievable that this animal was just completely chocolate without any spots visible. But now you can see the spots and everything is there. So now let's go back to Isaac with the lions on the move.
Welcome back, everybody, and you can see them over there. They're all 5 sausages right there, all looking very desperate, looking everywhere. You can see their glowy eyes, and they're all looking for anything and listening for anything that they can find. So let me move on. I've been following them for the last almost 1.5 hours, and we haven't seen anything apart from those ostriches that we saw earlier, and then they disappear off, and then there has been nothing so far. But let's continue and see what happens. But they are really, really meaning it. The only disadvantage now is I cannot see very far, and I have to go very slow. I'm on low ratio, fast gear, and sometimes I lose them, sometimes I find them. In this long grass, it's a game of cat and mouse now. I'm hoping that if they get something, that I'll be able. Bob, you say, when will the cubs? You're asking, when will the cubs be old enough to hunt with the lions? About 2 years, they'll start getting big enough to go for something. About 2 years. Although they'll still be learning at 2 years. They'll only be able to bring down something at the age of around 3. Wow, it's very quiet here. I don't see anything with my lights. Only the lioness is off to my right. And I'm trying not to be very close to them so that I can give them away. So every now and then I'm switching off my light so that we can see them. And here they are, right here to my right. All 5 of them. They're off to my right. Manu, could you share them with everybody? There they are. All walking in the long grass. You don't want to be in their way because you'd turn up to be a snack very fast. You can tell, I can tell the body language, they mean it, and they're very angry. Anything is on the menu right now if you're that size that they can bring down. So they are on a mission, and mission is meat. Anything available, they will eat. Let's continue on. I'm following them until I run out of time, because this is what I'm here to do, and I'm gonna stick here. So let's take you down to Sydney and see what is happening while I follow these guys.
So the male hyenas sometimes can tend to become a threat to the cubs. That is why if you look at the body size of the female, it's way much bigger than the male, because the female is there in order to defend these little ones. Sometimes males tend to feed on their own cubs. So the female has got 3 times testosterone bigger than the males. So it is a matriarchal system here. He doesn't have, oh, look at what he's doing now. Yeah, the hyenas, the males, they do play with cubs here very often. But like I said, sometimes they can tend to be dangerous. Like here, they have been playing for a while now. Look at that. This is amazing. So this shows you that the matriarch of this den is very much strong. You can see now the male is not even injuring these little ones, these cubs. This is amazing. So the hyenas are cannibalists. So hyenas, they do kill the other animals of the same species and eat them. They feed on them. It is amazing to see these babies. Yeah, I just broke that stick for a toy, but now we can see. So these little ones are interested to play and run around here. You can see they are all now inviting him to chase them around. This is amazing. So this male, when he came back here, the first thing he did was to sniff the ground. He was sniffing all this ground. I'm sure he was getting the updates about the other clan members and how long were they here. So this male is not interested to go out to search for food. Sarah, this male is babysitting for now, but when we got here, it was only the mothers. So the mothers left. He was not here. This one just got back now. So he was not here when we got here. So he just got back now, maybe from foraging somewhere very far. But he's not, when looking at his tummy, I'm not seeing quite a lot of food in there. So this... Francis, the tension will be there, and the female is going to come and defend. And like I said, it is up to the female for the males to be in the clan. So the possibilities of the female to fight the male and chase him out, they are very much high, because she's the one who does even chase out the young males as they are maturing. So the female is the decision maker, and if she doesn't want him anymore here, she'll take him out. And these females, hyenas, are interesting. If they don't want to mate with the responsible male members of the clan, they can go out and mate with the nomadic males. They do that, the female hyenas. So it's not like he is guaranteed that because he is the male within the clan, he will be the one to mate with the matriarch. No, the matriarch can go out and seek for other males from outside. You can see now they're grooming him. It is now his turn. So this is so beautiful. He's looking very much surprised when they're cleaning him. Maybe they don't know how to do it. Maybe instead of cleaning, they're biting him. You will never know. You can see that it's not like they are welcome to do so. So they still have got to learn to groom as well. So now he's grooming himself. So I think by this time, these little ones are out now because he is there. So these hyenas I have seen, they are so very much shy. Look at these little ones here. So now let's quickly go back to one of my friends.
So, I'm so sad because we were racing towards where leopard was supposedly seen. Remember I stopped a little while ago and I told you, and you remember here a young lass going, ah! She was so excited, this little girl. So anyways, Reynard and Michelle were on their way back to Chitwa and with their little girl, and they told little Leo Smith, Mr. Dillon, that they'd seen a leopard on their way home. So we raced back to try and come and have a look, but I can't even see any tracks, so I don't even really know where to begin. Somewhere between the Mulati and the Mulwanini, it was a male leopard, so I wonder if it was Tingana. We don't know. So maybe a good idea to come and check here in the morning. I mean, I've checked extensively for tracks. Should we just sit and listen for like 2 seconds? We know Tingana's a big fan of vocalizing. Perhaps he vocalizes for us. No. I wonder where it was. I mean, we'll keep checking. We're just gonna have a look down the road, and keep searching. Man, that would have been fantastic. Can you imagine? Lions, hyena, and leopard. Ooh, here's poop that wasn't here earlier, or was it? Now, a lot of you are asking about Bossy Donna. It's from a wildebeest. Yeah, wildebeest. A lot of you are asking about my mother, aka Bossy Donna. She likes it when you call her that, just by the way. She's fine. She had to have her eyes fixed, so to take her into hospital like about 75 million times. I've never spent so much time in hospital in my entire life. But she's good now. She can see. They went on a Kruger trip before. She went to get her eyes fixed, and it was quite funny because what happened? Sorry, you guys, driving past. Hey, so it was obviously a little bit tough for my mom because she couldn't see anything while she's on safari. So literally, my dad would have to point something out to her, and unless she had the binoculars in front of her face, she couldn't see them. My dad then also tried to trick her and said that there was a skeleton on the road, a carcass of some sort. There wasn't. It was just a couple of branches. My mom stared at it for quite some time. Now, if you think we're mean, we're not. That's just how we do in our families. We play pranks all the time. So yeah. So she's fine. She's very bossy. She bossed me so much while I was home. She must have missed me. She cooked me lots of meals. Mom, I'd really like to have ribs and chips if you're watching. I'm sure they're watching. When I come back from SafariLive. Thank you. My mom makes the best chips, potato chips. But you're so good. Craig, haven't you had them before? You've had them. When you came to my birthday last year. Craig came to my birthday. Craig and Louise featured at my birthday party. The first one, it wasn't really a birthday party, it was just a barbecue, aka a braai. Anyways, I'm not going to talk any more nonsense. I'm going to send you to Sydney, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Now I can see now the stick which was brought by that male, it is now a tool. They are all playing with that stick. Look at that now. Maybe when he brought the stick, he has been asked by these little ones to bring it because they like to play with it. Look at that. So these two, they are playing with that stick. So in the bush, there are no toys. So they use sticks. This is so beautiful. So, but the adults, as well, they do the same. Look, another one there is busy now also playing with the stick. You can see that it's like he's busy doing some teeth brushing with that little plant there. Look at that. This is amazing. So these animals are just playing with sticks and cleaning the teeth, and they are just, the other ones, look, they're eating that one. So this must be helping them a lot to clean the teeth. So you can see they are inheriting this behavior from the adults, because adults are doing it very often. This is a fantastic late afternoon, I can promise you. I've never been to such a very beautiful hyena sighting like this afternoon. It has been a fantastic afternoon, and these beautiful hyena cubs are bringing us to the sad time. It's so sad for me to say goodbye at the moment. It has been a great show, and thank you very, very much for all your questions and comments. The show was so overloaded with good sightings of the lions in the Masai Mara, as well as the hyenas and other small and big interesting animals. Let's meet again tomorrow morning. Ndawuyanduna.